The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Breakfast with Jeremiyah Love. Apparently, the Jets are doing a lot of digging into maybe the best player in the draft. We'll talk about that and much more. We got two guys from Badlands on the program, the host of Jetheads, PK and Meegs, joining the Jake Asman Show. Football Friday. Let's hit it and get it started.
Wish it could have been a Jet, Fernando.
Let's see what happens.
What's your message to the Jet fans in New York?
Jets, Jets.
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Football Friday. If you're a Yankee fan, Yankees just wrapped up a nice win in the home opener over the Marlins, so they're 6-1, so I'm in a great mood. We got a lot to talk about with the state of the Jets. Before we bring on our two great guests, I want to remind all the Asmaniacs that with the draft being less than 3 weeks away, make sure you RSVP if you're coming to our draft party on site at the draft in Pittsburgh. We will be partying all day long at McFadden's, which is just steps away from where all the action is. Just like it's free to attend the draft through the NFL, it's free to come to our draft party. Just click the link in the description for this video and RSVP. All the information about the type of party we're throwing is in that description link. So just click that and you will see. With that, let's say hello to two guys that I really enjoy listening to because they're usually at opposite ends of the Jet fan perspective. We say hello to PK and Michael Meegan from Badlands. They are the host of Jetheads, and you can listen to that every Tuesday morning on the Badlands feed. Gentlemen, PK, I'll start with you because you're feeling good about your UConn Huskies this weekend. What's going on?
Yeah, enough time has passed since the Duke game winner that now I'm back to just being nervous about Illinois, and I'm back to being terrified again pregame. But I'm okay. It's enough to sustain me. And it's interesting to be here with Meeks.
Yeah,
Meeks.
Basically, me and Jake were talking about doing this finally, and then I think Paul caught wind we were going to talk about him, so we made sure he was on the show. That's kind of how I did it.
Well, welcome to the show, Meegs and Paul. For you, I know you've been on a bunch, so good to get you back on. Let's start with some news. I wasn't expecting to kind of get a report about a secret breakfast meeting that the Jets had with Notre Dame running back Jeremiyah Love. If they had breakfast, that means the night before must have went tremendously well between the two sides, if you know what I'm saying. But Brian Costello, the first to report that the Jets met with Love the morning of Notre Dame's pro day last week. So I'll start with you, Meeks. Is this a smokescreen, due diligence? Are they actually just going to say, screw it, he's the best player, we're going to take him? What do you make of the meeting the Jets had here with arguably the best player in the draft?
So I'm more interested in like the recent chatter that they might want to get out of 2, and then this meeting coming along. Like, I don't know if Jeremiyah Love is the pick at 2 or like the shock pick at 2, where it's Tuesday of draft week and we get a bomb like, hey, the Jets are like moving towards Love. I think if they actually get an offer worth moving out of the pick, they're doing their homework on what those fallback options could be. And Jeremiyah Love, if you are getting capital to move out of 2 and you can take Jeremiyah Love at like 6, I think that's great asset management for a guy I think is the best player in the draft.
Paul, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it signals that Muji's playing the game really well. He's setting up all the dominoes to be able to be maneuverable and kind of do what he wants to do, which is positive to see. It's nice to see the pick not being completely telegraphed as it has been in the past sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. And like you put this together with some other things we've heard about, like the Ty Simpson flirtation, and like they're making sure that they put little pieces everywhere on the chessboard to, I guess, keep people guessing and keep people off the scent. I think it will be interesting to Meegs' theory if at some point in the next 2 weeks we hear some weird report about shopping Breece Hall around that will kind of line up with this, where it's like, yeah, we really might take him. We really might do it. Like, do you want to come up and get him? And so I'm excited to see them setting up the chess pieces on the board and setting us up for a night where really maybe anything can happen.
Well, it's going to be interesting to me if they're actually able to find a trade partner to move out of 2, because to me, it's a way different conversation if you take the running back at 2 versus you get extra picks to move down and then you take him. I think you could sell a lot of Jet fans on that strategy. But the idea of just taking him straight up at 2, if they did that draft night, Meeks, what is the fan base reaction to that pick?
I mean, the fan base will hate it, and then they'll probably talk themselves into it like 2 weeks later, because the Jets fan base can literally talk themselves into literally anything.
Yep.
Like could not be more despondent at the end of January after the coaching staff just debacle of just actually they're not gonna hire an OC. Actually, they're gonna hire an OC, the defensive coordinator, like all that stuff going on. And then it felt like the Jets had a nice 2 days of free agency, then everyone was back. Like the Jets fan base will sell themselves on it, but I think that will be unless they're really told within 48 hours that it's happening, we'll probably get the most shocked Jets, fan reaction on draft night.
Yeah, it'll be chaotic, but I think the fan base quickly pivots to, okay, what are we getting for Breece? Which third round pick is it? And who are we trading with? And who are we going to take with that third round pick?
I think that's a good point. I mean, look, the tweets from Breece draft night, if they draft Love at number 2, oh, baby.
Cinema.
Let me ask you this, PK. Do you think there's a team that would come up to number 2? Like if the Jets wanted to trade out of that spot, I think most Jet fans would love the idea of doing that. I just can't find the team. I've heard from people that Tennessee's not as much in love, pun intended here, with Jeremiyah Love as people believe. So I don't know if they're going to be coming up. I don't know what player is so good in this draft at an important position that they're going to be able to move out of 2.
I don't think I need to tell your audience that I'm not sourced and that this is completely out of my brain and nothing else. But I keep thinking about, what if the Browns wanted to come up to 2 for Arvell Reese with the thought of, hey, let's get Arvell Reese in here. And then maybe around midseason, we start to explore the possibility of trading Myles Garrett to retool for whatever we're going to do next and get a big haul of picks in for that. So you get his replacement, you go up for it, you move up 4 spots. And then the convenient part about that is that the Browns' other pick later in the first round, I did the math the other day. They have another pick that lines up with the differential between 2 and 6 really well, that you could almost do it super cleanly with maybe you throw in a late 6-7 pick swap. I'll go back to the trade chart and figure out which pick that was. But there's a world where I think that could happen. But again, I haven't heard about that happening. That's just me trying to grasp at straws.
Do you have a team in mind that is coming up, Meeks?
I think Jerry's going to try. I wouldn't take 12 and 20 for 2, personally speaking. I think there's a cliff fall off in this draft from the blue chip talent, and I think you're falling too far out of that, where I don't want to go that far back, but I think Jerry's going to try, because we're already getting the rumors that he's trying to call up the 3 for David Bailey. If he's going to call up for 3, why he's definitely going to phone 2 first, because basically any pick seems to be available in this draft besides 1, because Vegas is taking Mendoza.
You are way more locked into the draft than I am, Meeks. I know you and PK are putting together the Badlands draft guide. You mentioned the blue chipper line. Break down how many blue chippers you believe there actually are in this class, because I always keep hearing mixed things. People say it's a good draft. No, it's not that good. It's actually better than people like. In your opinion, how many premium players are there, and what should the Jet fan know about where you have to be to get one of those players?
So I don't think you. So I guess the best way to put it is 2 of the blue chippers in this draft play non-premium positions, so they're not going to go in the first 5 picks. Caleb Downs and Sonny Styles are blue chip talents, but one plays safety and one plays linebacker. Those guys are probably going to be going. Sonny might go 5 to the Giants, but Downs is probably going to go closer to 10. Jeremiyah Love is another blue chip player. I like Arvell Reese enough to say he's a blue chip, but that's kind of where it ends for me. People would put Bain in that conversation. Some people would put Bailey in that conversation, but for me, it's those 4 players. And if you are going to 12, I don't think you can get Caleb Downs, and I know you're not going to get Arvell, Sonny. And the way Jeremiyah Love is trending, it seems like his floor might be the Commanders at 7. The way you're seeing the chatter go, that if you're going to 12, it's kind of going to be hard to leave the draft with one of those guys.
Yeah, it's one of those spots where it's going to be interesting to see what they could potentially do. Now, I know you Meegs in particular, you're big on Arvell Reese, so we'll get your thoughts on that. But PK, where do you stand with number 2 right now? Are you a Reese, a Bailey guy? Do you want Styles at 2? I know Meegs is pretty set on Reese, so I'll start with you on this one, PK.
I would be happy with Reese. I wouldn't be upset about it, but my heart lies with Ruben Bain, and I know that at 2, that's a difficult conversation, which is why I'm trying to talk myself into this Cleveland trades down scenario, because you get down to 6, you're still above Kansas City at 9, and just to finish off that thought from before, the draft picks have a 271 differential in value, and number 24 with Cleveland is worth 237. So you find yourself in a position in my perfect world where you get to take Bain at 6, you get to take your wide receiver ideally at 16, plus now you have 24, 33, and 44. You still might be able to auction off 33 to get back into the 3rd round somehow and maintain your pick count. So that is kind of where my heart lives right now, because again, it's nothing against Reese. I will not be upset if they take Reese at 2 in the moment. It's just that I have fallen in love with Bain.
Don't tell the guys over at U Stadium that you're okay with Reese. They'll come after you. Meegs, your thoughts on Reese? Sell Reese to my audience, because I think you're really articulate breaking his game down and how it could translate to the next level.
So I think he was one of the better linebacker prospects of like this decade, and his power profile, just how he hits people and how he like moves offensive linemen around, is why I think he can translate to edge. I think when you're seeing a smaller edge rusher, you kind of get nervous about how can they play against the run. And then if they're just like a designated pass rusher and you're playing for the Jets where you don't lead a lot of games, like the script isn't in your favor, when if you're down 10 points, it's hard to really pin your ears back and go because they're going to be running the ball a ton. Like Arvell Reese can defend the run. Arvell Reese has that power profile, you think, where you could see him transitioning to edge, but they signed Demario Davis, so you can play him at linebacker to start. They now have depth on the edge after signing Osai and Ibari, where like they are actually very well set up from just like a environment standpoint to basically incubate Arvell Reese's game, where he can start linebacker with DeMario calling out his plays, and then you can start getting him snaps on the edge and in blitz packages. And if we're going to commend Aaron Glenn on one thing, the hire of Carl Dunbar is one I think he should be commended on. That's a proven position coach who's had a ton of success here, also in Pittsburgh, with the developments of TJ Watt, with Highsmith, what we're seeing from Nick Herbig. Like, he kind of does pretty well with guys who have Arvell Reese's like make and body type, and I think that's a perfect matchup. Whereas David Bailey, like I like David Bailey, but it's kind of just, you know what you're getting. He's an older, more refined rusher that is probably going to be like a 9-10 sack guy consistently, but I don't know if he has a higher ceiling than that. And I want to swing a little higher if I'm picking 2 overall, because in my perfect world, you don't pick in the top 5 every year. Yeah. Like when you hear you make it count, like that's kind of my philosophy.
Yep, unless you're the Jets, who seemingly can find ways to pick in the top 5 a lot, but never can actually pick number 1. Like, as bad as the Jets have been during this playoff drought, they have not had the number 1 pick, as we all know, a single time. Comments, questions, super chats, they will cut the line. We got Asmaniac Madness coming up in a bit. It's Lou B versus Mr. Bonesy for a spot in the Sweet 16, so voting for that will open up in just a little while. I also have a great raffle prize at the end of today's stream for anyone who wants to enter. It is a signed helmet by Jets legend Joe Klecko. Includes the Hall of Fame inscription on the helmet. So if you want in, make sure you gift a membership to the community or send in a $10 super chat or higher to qualify. We're talking with 2 guys from the Badlands community, Paul Killgallen, Michael Meegan. Their show, Jetheads. It drops Tuesday morning on the Badlands feed. More conversation around the draft. PK, pick 16. Ty Simpson is on the board. Are the Jets pulling the trigger and drafting Ty?
No, I don't think so. I could see a world where it does happen, but I don't think that's the likeliest of scenarios. I think it'll depend heavily on what else is on the board. If he's the only guy that you feel comfortable with, which I mean, there's very few worlds in which he's the only guy you're comfortable with there, but I think it's more likely that you see a slide down in that case than anything else. I think the conversation becomes way more difficult to have at 33 than at 16. I feel like there's a lot of pushback that happens at 16. Now, the other side of that coin is if you like him enough at 33, what's stopping you at 16? Go secure your guy, because the Pittsburgh Steelers are sitting there at 23 and, you know, the Rams are there a little bit later on. So like, I could see a world in which the Jets do, I don't want to use the word panic, but they're just like, you know what, like, let's just walk away with this. But that's a signal that they have fallen in love with him. That's not, hey, like he's the next quarterback and we need a quarterback. You don't take him for that reason. You take him if you are like, God damn, we love this guy. We have to get him in the building. And I'm not sure that that's the case.
I've also heard the conversation of, oh, well, they could trade back in. But my thought process is you're trying to trade back into the first round, then why risk it? If you love him enough, clearly, to do that, wouldn't you just take him at 16? So I don't even know if I picture that unless it's just like, hey, you can get the 5th-year option on the guy if you move up one spot for a 4th-round pick and they have 2 of them. Like, are the Jets willing to do that? I don't picture it at 16, but I do think there's a chance he's there at 33. And Meegs, if he's there at 33, are the Jets drafting him?
I think they won't personally, but I think if the Jets draft Ty Simpson to just, stir the pot a little bit, I think that's more of an ownership decision than a Glenn and Muji decision.
Ooh.
Like, I don't think Ty Simpson helps Aaron Glenn's timeline. And the fact that these timelines are conflicting can speak to about the decision about bringing him back. But if Ty Simpson is good and the Jets don't win enough games, 3 first-round picks and a young quarterback who showed promise is a great way to entice your next head coach. Like, Aaron Glenn needs to win next year. There is no world where the Jets win 6 or less games or picking in the top 10, and he's going to be here. Like, it got too toxic at the end. The 3 first-round picks are going to be a real selling point for coaches who will want to come here. So I think that if Ty Simpson is a Jet, like if it's at 33 and finds out they love him, it's like more of like a maybe it was they really did like the guy. They just thought the value was too good. But I think if he's here, it's because the owner wants to sell tickets.
I mean, if you take Ty, the entire organization has to be aligned. I talked about this a lot on radio today. Mike Tannenbaum had a take that was disgusting. What else is new? But that's my tee for you. He suggested that the Jets, in a perfect world dream scenario, he said they should take both 2s and trade to 25 with the Bears to take Ty. And that to me is really, really dumb logic, right? If you're going to trade both 2nd-round picks, just take them at 16 at that point and get 2 more players. So that to me makes no sense. He referenced what the Giants did when they traded back in. But the Giants, if you look, they traded a future 3rd in that draft last year and then their 3rd this year. The Jets don't have a 3rd because of the Reddick deal, but they do have 2 fourths. Like if it's something like a 4th and not much more, like, okay, I'll listen to something like that. But I think being aggressive and trading up for him, like that tells me you love him, then just take him at 16. So I think we learn a lot about like the organization alignment, I guess is the word, based on whether or not they pick him. And if they do pick him, where he's actually being selected.
Let me ask you this, Jake. If you really love Ty Simpson and you feel like you're comfortable with more than one edge, if you're comfortable with Bailey, Reese, and let's call it Bain, why aren't you calling Cleveland to say, hey, do you want to come up to 2? Because then you have 24. You're sitting on 16, 24, 33, 44, and then you have a lot more flexibility. Like you can kind of torch a pick in that scenario. And I'm saying torch meaning Ty Simpson's probably not playing a good part of his rookie year. And you're still holding on to all your assets next year. You still got an edge. You still got a wide receiver. You still got everything you needed, but now you're way more flexible.
I don't hate that. I just think the key for Muji is to find that trade partner if he could do it. Mm-hmm. And, we also have talked about this. What if the Jets wanted to trade up, but they're creative about it? Like, let's say they really love Reese, so they take him at 2, but they know they need a wide receiver desperately. So what if there's some strategy involved by saying, hey, we have pick 44. Let's use 16 and 44. Point chart says you could probably get to around 7 to 11, depending on what teams want to do with just that type of move. You get Carnell Tate if he's there or whoever. And then at pick 33, let's recoup what we just traded. Let's move out and get a 3rd-round pick, and then we could supplement our roster that way. Or if Ty's there at 33, then you could take Ty if you love him. Like, it kind of opens the door for you to have, like, options if you are still trying to go edge, get a weapon, and then depending on how they feel about Ty, that could be in play as well.
Yeah, I think that your Tate trade up is interesting if you really can just trade out of 33, take your safety, and then you get a 3rd-round pick back where you can just get another tight end in here on day 2 where it's like, all right, we upgraded our tight end room. We feel good about safety. We feel good about edge. We feel really good about receiver because we got one of the premium ones. And then it's really just about on day 3 of the draft, can you just have a more concrete plan that doesn't involve, consensus reaches and just having a little bit better feel of the board. I think Muji showing he can navigate going up and going back would be a nice, feather in his cap.
Is there a guy at 16, PK, that let's remove Simpson from the conversation, but like in an ideal world, this player's there and the Jets could get him for you?
Yeah, Meegs and Connor really talked me into Tyson. Like, it's more about the fact I always liked Tyson. It's the injuries scare me a little bit, but The fact that he legitimately could fall into that 16 range to me is just like, how do you not, dude? If he can, if there's a receiver with that talent level that slides all the way into the mid-teens, I think you have to. Like, I don't think you have a choice. You just have to be like, all right, well, we're going to bring that guy in and we're going to figure it out, right? And hopefully we're going to see if we can hold off the soft tissue injuries and all that. So Tyson at this point is the player that I'm like, yeah, you can't leave 16 if he's there.
Is there a guy for you, Meegs? Is it Tyson as well at 16?
Yeah, it is probably Tyson. It's just in this draft, which I don't think has a lot of blue chip talent. If Jordan Tyson has clean hamstrings, is probably a top 5 pick in this draft. And the fact that you get the chance to do that and pair him with Garrett Wilson is just too enticing. Like, the Jets have come so close to getting like Garrett's running mate. Like, JSN in 2023 is where one we'll always go back to because he was literally his college teammate. He was right there on the board. But if you can get Tyson, a guy who I personally think if he fully hits could be better than Garrett, which is saying something because I think Garrett's a heck of a football player. I think he's the only receiver out of the guys in that group that has the chance to like usurp him.
I guess here's my concern with Tyson. It just feels like if the Ravens take him, he's going to be awesome. But if the Jets take him, it's not going to work. And that's like the inner Jet fan mentality.
Yeah. Actually, the Ravens don't, the wide receivers, they're boogeyman. It's like they always feel like they never have enough. Like if the Rams take him, I 100% agree with you.
Okay, let's use the Rams then. It
one of those franchises.
Yeah, like a guy hurt in college, and then he's going to go play his games at the at MetLife on the turf. It's again, the talent is there, so I would understand it. How would you feel about Mekhi Lemon, who I know Will Parkinson has been high on for months?
I've been on this take that this is not to do with Mekhi the player. I just don't love his fit with Garrett because he's just a slot only. He's smaller, and I just want the wide receiver room to get a little bigger. Like Tyson and Tate are bigger. Omar Cooper is he's kind of the same body frame. He just has more explosion. Like Mekhi Lemon is like a real finesse, like savvy player. Omar Cooper has much more like explosiveness to his game, so he's a little bit of a different skill set, even though it's the same body type. But I like Lemon the player. Just the fit doesn't intrigue me as much with Garrett because I think it's a little repetitive.
Yeah, I mean, so there's another guy on our feed, Dan Essien, who does a show on Fridays called Buck the Trend. That is like a
Citizens.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Deep statistical analysis based show. And he did a show a couple weeks ago talking about how kind of just surveying the receivers that Geno has done really well with. And what he came out of it with was a profile of like Mekhi Lemon is actually the best pick for Geno that's possible in this draft because Geno Smith's going to put it on the numbers. He doesn't need a crazy catch radius. And so he fits the profile most, along with Garrett Wilson, by the way. Garrett Wilson fits it also, of players that could succeed really well with Geno, which I think is an interesting conversation. So I'm okay with it. But then the other side of that coin is how long's Geno here? So are you making a long-term pick for a short-term quarterback? But I would not I wouldn't sneeze at Mekhi Lemon coming here. I'd be like, okay, like we got another good football player and I'm okay with that. I think an interesting one at 16 is what if people get worried enough about Downs' knee that he starts to slide into the mid-teens? I don't think it's highly likely, but what if he's down there in the mid-teens as well? And there's a receiver we like on the board. I think most people want to lean toward receiver, but Downs is another guy like Tyson that we're talking about where he should be in the top 5 players in this draft.
It's a very interesting one.
That's tough. Can we get Brian Thomas Jr. in a trade if we're taking Downs at 16 in this scenario? Because then at least we address receiver.
Like people think the Jaguars like just didn't like the offers they got, and like that whole we're not trading him is just malarkey. Like people think like 44 is too rich, like to even get Brian Thomas anymore. They think his value has fallen that far. So what happens with the Jaguars on draft day is going to be interesting. And I said this last week when I was on with Mark doing Badlands Live was if the Brian Thomas Jr. trade happens before the draft, like not on like day 2 of the draft or like on draft night, I feel like people are going to like the Jets fans particularly are going to panic because like he's always been that if you don't take your receiver at 16, you can hypothetically always trade for him. And if that, card is taken off the table, I think people are going to start to panic.
That's going to be fascinating. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Reminder, this show's available in audio form, either Apple or Spotify. Just search Jake Asman Show, and you can listen to anything you missed on the live YouTube show. We got PK and Meegs from Badlands with us here. If you guys have a question for them, anything draft-related, Jet-related, write it in. We've talked about Geno Smith, but let's dive into the comments from the coach this week about Geno leading the Jets to the promised land. Are you buying it, PK? You're usually the optimist, but I know you weren't big on bringing Geno back. Have you come around on Geno leading us to the Jet Promised Land, which might be a 9-8 season. I don't know what the Promised Land actually is.
Well, that's the thing, Jake, is that nobody knows what the Promised Land is. The Promised Land could just be like, hey, we're not running draws on 3rd and long anymore. Like, it could be anything, right? There's a wide berth for what the Promised Land means. I think it was probably a little bit of a thoughtless thing to say, where he was just in the moment. In some ways, I appreciate Aaron Glenn being a little bit looser in the media this year, where he's just like, you know what? Like, I really do. I care about this. I'm going to be less combative. I'm going to try to be a little bit more open with the media. And it's unfortunate that in his first kind of debut of that new personality and attitude with the media, he kind of drops something like that, where it's like, this is the Jets, dude. If you say something like that, it's picked up nationally and it's everywhere instantly. And so it's a tough gaffe. I don't think he meant much by it. I think, honestly, if you pressed me to the fire on this and you said, what does the Promised Land mean? I think it's the playoffs is what he was referring to. It's probably something nebulous that doesn't really have a definition, but I think he meant the playoffs. And I have come around on Geno Smith. I don't know if I believe that the Jets can be a playoff team, and it's not because of Geno Smith or not because of Geno Smith. It's just there's a lot more work to do. There's the draft to happen. There's training camp to get through without major injury. So there's a lot still that has to happen before any kind of record prediction can be made. But I have come around on Geno Smith to the big answer to the question. And this picture that you just put up is hilarious. And I'm trying desperately not to laugh.
I'm just dying at the comment from AP King, who says, it's AI because there's a sellout crowd at MetLife. Well said. I mean, Meegs, what do you think is like the best case scenario for Geno Smith with Frank Reich coordinating this offense?
Ooh. Probably that the offense is like average. I don't think that if you get your best outcome on offense, that automatically means the Jets are a 9-win team, because their defense could still be bad. Like, their free agents could not hit. Glenn calling the defense might not pan out in a way, because like his last year in Detroit, they were a good defense even with the injuries. But the years prior to that, they were kind of more towards the middle of the pack, and then they were bad originally when they didn't have any talent to start. So I think just having like a top 15-ish offense is probably the best outcome you can expect from Geno and Reich. But whether that translates to wins, I think it still remains to be a question, because you don't know how the other side of the ball is going to look.
I mean, what is the ceiling for the defense? I know it's likely they're going to add Reese to it at 2, let's say. How much better is this defense going to be? We know it's going to be better. It can't be any worse. But like Glenn now taking over, they've gotten a lot of guys that clearly he wanted Muji to bring in. They've done that. Like, what is a reasonable expectation, Meegs, in your mind for the Jet defense?
So I think they were like bottom 4, bottom 5, just probably like improving like 10 to 12 spots. Like, can you be the 20th? Like, just like this is like an average outcome, not like the best case scenario. Like, can you be like the 21st ranked defense? And can you be like the 18th ranked offense? Because I think you have more talent on that side of the ball with the offensive line continuity, with Geno being an upgrade over just what we got from Fields, and then hopefully adding another receiver to this offense. Like, I think you have more talent on that side of the ball. Garrett being healthy, that's kind of what you're trying to projecting for both units, where like they're probably still below average, but they're really close to being average. Like, they're just not in the bottom 5.
PK, what's the ceiling for the Jet defense?
Well, I know the floor's raised, so I'll agree with you there. They did a lot. I think if you look at the roster at the beginning of last season and whatever the roster will look like at the beginning of this season, I'm not sure it looks all that different, but I think they did a lot of good work in the personality department. I'll just throw that blanket over it, and you can all interpret that however you'd like to interpret it. I think they did a lot of good work in the personality department to kind of align more with what Glenn is trying to do. If you look at his previous stops as coordinator and as an assistant coach on the defensive side in New Orleans and Detroit, there was significant improvement, whether it be the position group that he coached or the defensive unit as a whole, year over year. And so you're looking for that same kind of jump. I think Meegs' goal of 10 spots is hopeful. I would say 10 to 15 is like a lofty hope, but the reality for Glenn is he needs it to be 10 or 15 spots because they were so bad.
He's not going to survive.
You can't really
25th
afford
ranked defense. Yeah,
exactly. You can't really afford it to not be 10 to 15 spots. So I think it's going to be interesting. They did, like I said, a lot of floor raising players in free agency. Now you have to go get the star. And I think where the star is on that defense, whether it be on the front 7 or God forbid it's Downs or they draft a corner or they do something funky that we're not expecting, then you're going to start to like see it take shape on like how this defense can really elevate itself. Are they going to hit the quarterback a lot? Are they going to take the ball away in the secondary? And so I think there's a lot still to be told there, but I will say I think it has to be 10 to 15 spots if he wants to be here long term.
Aaron Glenn, how does he save his job? Outline the path, Meeks.
He's got to win 8 games. That's really however they come. I think it's a number. Like, I don't think you can sell this fan base on process or, doing things the right way, or last year was year 0. Like, I just don't think they have the patience anymore. I think last year went as bad as it was. And we don't think they're going to touch the 2027 draft picks. We think they're only basically going to add to them. With the amount of cap space you have next year, with the draft picks you have next year, unfair as it is to Glenn, that is going to be enticing where you can get a real coaching cannon here. And Aaron Glenn almost has to hit you over the head with near success or total success to basically stop you from using it to entice someone here. So I think he's going to win 8 games.
I'm not willing.
Which they haven't done since 2015, by the way.
Exactly. People talk about the playoff trend. I think it's more embarrassing that since 2015, they have not won more than 7 games in the season. It's like, it's embarrassing. What to you does, Aaron Glenn saving his job look like, Paul?
I'm not willing to put a number on it yet. Again, just because there's so much roster work to do. I'm hesitant to go ahead and like throw a number down on it, but I do think it's the type of thing where if people go in with an open mind, Jake and Meeks, I'm looking at you. If people go in with an open mind, I think that like you'll know it, you'll feel it, right?
Play call is my superpower, really.
I'm ready, man. The guy's got superpowers.
We will be 6 or 7 games into the season, and if it feels like it felt last year, he's dead already.
Yeah.
If it feels different and they're 3-4 and 4 or 4-3, if they're hovering around that line and it feels different and it feels like they're punching other teams in the mouth and it feels like they're competitive, I think it's way more about the feel of next year. Now, the easiest way to have a good feel is just to win 8 games, right? Like that's the simple answer is like, hey, if you just win 8 or 9 games, God forbid you have a winning record and you get into the playoffs, like you're staying. That's the easy way. But I do think that there's a feel component to it as well.
I agree. Here's the thing, too, that I think people lose sight of when we just talk about they got to win X amount of games for him to be here. I think how they get the wins matters when they get them. Like Adam Gase won 7 games his first year, but he started 1-7. No one cares that they went 6-2 in the second half against bad teams, backup quarterbacks, whatever. Like they got to get out to a decent start. Can you be 3-3 through your first 6? Can you show us something? Can you win a division game that no one's expecting you to win? Can you go out there and look prepared like they were for week 1, but actually finish the job and win? Like I think it's not even just a win total because they start 1-7. I don't know if Woody Johnson's giving him the whole rest of the year anyway, but even if he does, he's dead at that point. Even if he wins some games late, like I think getting off to a way better start, Meeks, that is so important in this as well.
Yeah, no, the start's a huge point. If they start 1-3, I just don't think you're going to lose 99% of the fan base, and everyone is just going to be waiting for the Monday morning when he's fired, whether it's Black Monday at the end of the year or whether it comes during the season. Because I just don't think anyone is going to believe he can turn around like that kind of start.
And by the way, right, wrong, or indifferent, like I don't think you guys are wrong. Like it will get so loud and so toxic if
it's loud now.
It's
like I've never seen this before.
If he loses to Salah, if they actually have to play Tennessee week 1, like he can start 0-1 with a loss to Salah, and we might already be there.
And LaFleur, by the way, he has to beat LaFleur also.
He has to beat both of them, otherwise he's never going to hear the end of it. Or the owner's too emotional and the fan base is too emotional for losing those games.
Those losses, actually, I won't say the wins are worth more because by the time we get to those games, I think Arizona is probably going to be fairly bad. And Tennessee, it's just the Jets and the Giants from the last couple of years. So I don't see how they could possibly be that good either. So I don't think the wins are worth extra, but I think the losses are worth 2 losses to those 2 teams.
I think that's a great point. Great point. Some super chats here before we let PK and Meegs run. We got Asmaniac Madness coming up shortly, so get ready for that. This first one's from Mike Perez. He is in the raffle for 2. It says, Happy Good Friday to all the Asmaniacs. R.I.P. Tommy. We will have a Tommy tribute video coming up in just a bit. Thank you to Gator for working hard on that. Shout out to Brandon Batts, who became a YouTube channel member. Brandon, thank you. I got you down in the raffle for 1. Doc Jet Fan with our first super chat. He writes in, 33 and 44 picks are worth 1,020 points. Pick 25 is worth 720. It makes Mike Tannenbaum's logic even more illogical. I don't get it. Again, it's one thing to trade up a couple spots and trade a third next year or one of your fourths this year for Ty. But when I watched Tannenbaum today say trade both second-round picks to move up to 25 after he said, by the way, take a corner at 16, which I almost had an aneurysm with that line. Like, it's illogical completely. That's way too much to trade up for Ty. Just take him at 16 at that point.
Yeah, I would never do that.
Who was the corner? Was it Jeremiah McCoy?
Didn't even say who. Just threw it out there. They got a pass rusher at 2 and a corner at 16. He's like, Greeny, this is the dream scenario for Jet fans. Okay.
This is who Woody Johnson hired to consult to hire a regime. Just let that be said.
PK's guy, Aaron Glenn, don't forget. Andrew C. writes in, promised land equals if they could just complete a pass, it would look good. Well, I have no doubt Geno at least is capable of being competent if he's protected, which is why I don't hate bringing Geno in for $3 million total. I don't know if Frank Reich still has any juice as a play caller, and I just have major questions about just the head coach and the pressure that's on him and just kind of everything with the Jets. Their schedule also, it could change, but right now it looks brutal just on paper.
Yeah, it does. And I think the troubling thing about the Geno and Reich pairing together is that you're asking for two different player, coach, two different people to have a bounce back, right? If it was still Tanner on the upswing, you'd be like, all right, Tanner in year 2 with a better quarterback. Like, let's see what Tanner's got. But we're asking for two people to bounce back, which is a lot harder than asking for one person to bounce back.
You buying Frank Reich, Biggs?
No. It just didn't end well. And like his last good Indianapolis offense, I think, is the 2020 Phillip Rivers year, because the Wentz year was just weird. They still had Jonathan Taylor, but that offense was so one-dimensional. And then when they got Matt Ryan, they just died, and Stanford did nothing noteworthy, obviously, last year in college football. That it just seems like we can have a million discussions about why Tanner was fired and who got involved and yada yada. We don't have to have that discussion today, but I don't think you had to get Frank Reich from the door of retirement and give him the OC job. If he didn't want to take the quarterback coach with a cushy pay bump, then find someone else, man.
I tend to agree. By the way, here's the Jets opponents for this upcoming season, and where I struggle with. Find me the game where the Jets either have the advantage at QB or the advantage at head coach or both, because that's typically when you're evaluating teams, who's your coach, who's your quarterback. That's how the point spreads are typically made, and I think the Jets are an underdog in almost all their games this season.
Yeah, it really depends on what Miami – Miami's the most interesting team because you generally have no idea if they're just going to tank, or Halfley can do the Flores version where it's actually Halfley's semi-competent, the defense is playing with not that much talent, and Malik Willis is what gives you a high-end Justin Fields 2025 outcome. We're hey, if Justin Fields hits and this is a good contract, that's what Malik Willis bet kind of is. They're interesting. I think Minnesota is going to be a lot better. Cleveland, Arizona are probably the only two wild cards where maybe Geno is better than Brissett and maybe Glenn is as good or better than LaFleur, but that's 3 games max on a 17-game schedule.
I'm going to push back on this a little bit. I mean, Halfley's a rookie head coach. We don't know anything about him. LaFleur's a rookie head coach. We don't know anything about him. We know Saleh stinks. Joe Brady, look, a lot.
Well, he still has Josh Allen, so that
there's reason to feel good. We're asking head coach quarterback matchup. That's all we're asking here. We're not saying put it all together and Josh Allen's going to save you. We're saying head coach quarterback matchup, right? We don't know anything about Joe Brady as a head coach. We love him as a coordinator. He's done really, really good work. He's a rookie head coach. So there's 4 games in division right away with rookie head coaches. Plus, Cleveland, LaFleur, Saleh. Come on. I get it was a bad start for Glenn. There was a lot of shit going on with the Jets last year. There was a lot of stuff going on.
If you're doing a coach draft, though, PK, is Glenn not going 32nd out of 32?
I just don't know how I think there's a case to be made that he's 32nd out of 32. I'm not going to sit here and be an idiot and be stupid and say, no, you absolutely cannot put him 32 out of 32. But I will say that there's 4 or 5 rookie head coaches in the NFL. I think Saleh is right down there with him. So if Saleh's not, below him, then he's one notch above him. So I just wouldn't be so quick to be well, we're going to be outmatched in every single game. That's all.
So
I just need to push back a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm glad you did. I don't think Saleh is a great coach by any means, but here's my thing. At least with Saleh, we saw defensive development. I have no doubt he's a really good defensive play caller. He's way better as a DC than what we got from Glenn in Detroit. So to me, Tennessee could be decent if Dable does what he just did with Dart. If he now does that with Cam Ward, if Cam Ward is solid, Saleh will fix that defense. Like there's a path for Saleh to not be a horrible head coach. I don't know if he's a great coach, but like Saleh at one point with the Jets, they were 6-3 and 7-4 before they collapsed. I don't know if Aaron Glenn's ever going to get 3 games above 500 in his time as the Jet head coach.
I would say Saleh's a better XO guy than Glenn, and I don't know if it's really up for debate at all. What I question is Saleh's ability to keep the train on the tracks. I think that we were sold a bill of goods when he got here that this was going to be a culture thing and everybody was going to be on board. And like by the time we got to the end of year 4, dude, it was out of control to the point where the new coach had to come in here and halfway through his first season, he had to jettison a bunch of Saleh's players just to try to take the poison out.
They also started 0-7, though. That's why they had the jettison sauce. I don't think that was their plan.
Yeah, they should have done that earlier if that was their plan. But I guess my point about, like, if we have the Meegs, Jake, and Paul versions in the Arizona Cardinals fan base, they are looking at the Jets being like, Aaron Glenn sucked last year. Geno Smith got the Raiders' #1 pick. Like, we can beat them. Like, all the variants of us and other fan bases are looking at the Jets like they're red meat. In the same way, you're like, Saleh, is he that good? Monken, Shadur, like Joe Brady, who's that guy? Like, those versions are going to be saying the same things about the Jets.
I mean, I saw
new,
this,
dude.
He's just so Barstool Big Cat does that blog every year with the coach's photo at the NFL owners meeting, and his blurb for Glenn, because he was the only coach that was wearing team apparel in the
Team
photo,
gear. Yep.
was basically like, I'm wearing team gear just to remind everyone I didn't get fired last year. Because I did a radio interview with guys that do a talk show in Baltimore, and they were like, who are the Jets going to hire as their head coach? And this was in January. I go, they didn't fire Glenn. Like, it was just like people forgot the Jets actually didn't fire him because it was so bad. People just assumed with 10 openings, surely the Jets were one of the teams that fired their coach. Like, it's just, I don't think we've ever walked into a season where like there's this much intense scrutiny on the coach. And it's crazy because he's a former Jet and he squandered all the goodwill he had immediately from just being a former Jet who wanted the job in the first place.
We got the league right where we want them, dude. Keep them guessing.
Yeah.
Unreal. Eric Kelly with a super chat. Is there a number of games lost that gets him fired in season? Like, how bad does the start have to be?
If he starts 0-7 again, like, what's the point? Like, if he repeats last year, like, there is no reason to keep this train on the tracks.
No arguments for me there. If it's 0-7 and it's as bad as it looked last year, I mean, how can you defend at that point?
Yeah, like, even if Geno gets like hurt, like, I don't think that's even an excuse anymore. It's like, this is the veteran bridge you got. This is an older quarterback who can't really move. If he gets hurt, it's a little bit on you and what your plan at backup quarterback. If that wasn't good enough, that's also a reflection of you. Like, I don't think there's a way you can basically excuse your way out of starting like that again, given how year 1 went.
Who is the backup going to be, by the way? Do you think they draft someone? That's their plan? Is it going to be Cooper Rush or bring Tyrod back?
Yeah, I think Cooper Rush and like a day 3 pick is my current like projection. Like, is it? I mean, I don't want Beck or Aller just because I don't think Beck's talented, and Aller I just think isn't a quarterback. He's just never ever put it together, and I don't think he will. But I think that's what the quarterback room is going to be. It's going to be Geno, Cooper Rush, and like one of those day 3 rookies.
How quickly we all forget about Bailey Zappi. It could be Zappy hour at any moment, dude.
Is Brady Cook still on the roster?
He is. Right now the room is Geno, Brady Cook, and Zappy.
Oh my goodness. I mean, it's got to be something. They have to add something to the room.
Yeah.
it can't
Muji said they might add a quarterback before the draft. It was like the only noteworthy thing he said in his this past week. So maybe that means Rush is coming. Maybe the Will Levis trade that we keep floating just from a chaos angle, maybe that happens. Jamie and Sherwood for Will Levis is personally my favorite trade I've been pushing just to get rid of that money, and Saleh gladly will take him. But
I mean, Saleh, if you breathed in the One Jets Drive facility at any point during Saleh's time there, you might be a Titan for all you know. That's how they're operating this offseason. Unbelievable. This comment's from Amanda who says Paul and Michael should come on more often. They're smart and entertaining. How about that? Getting some love from the comment section. Bino says Reich is the only head coach in NFL history to be fired 2 times midseason, and he did it in 1 calendar year. That stat sounds true, so I'll go with it.
Yeah, I can't imagine who. No, because Dan Quinn didn't get a head coaching job. Like, I'm trying to think of a coach who's good enough to get a job after getting fired mid-year. Like, Dan Quinn had to go be Dallas DC for a couple of years when he got canned after like 4 weeks. I can't think of anyone.
I can't either. That's tough. Mace B in the raffle for 2. Seen countless team fan channels. No community like the one you created. You get back with raffles. Asmaniac is fun competition. It's also serious that there's campaigning, rigging, some crash outs after defeats. We've had some voter fraud being alleged in Asmaniac Madness. We will address that when I get done with PK and Meegs here. But here's my last question for both of you. All right. I'm stealing this from Joe Caparoso, who put our friend Will Pa on the spot. Mock draft. You can't make any trades unless you want to, but PK, I'll start with you. 2, 16, 33, 44. The Jets are taking.
Is this who we think or who we want?
How about what you think they'll do?
All right. So I do think it lands on Reese at 2. I am going to say that Tyson is gone at 16. So I am going to go. Shit, man.
You know you want to say Ty.
No, I don't want to say Ty.
Jets, Jets.
Fuck, man.
Dude, hopefully Muji has more control in the pocket, dude. Come on. It's 16. It's not even the second rounders.
Yeah, no, I've just been talking myself into Tyson for so long that I really don't think he's there. And so he's putting me on the spot here, and I just hadn't considered an answer beforehand. I'll say
Just
Reese.
say Tyson. That works.
Reese, Lemon. Well, I know Meegan's going to say Tyson. So
I won't. I wasn't going to say Tyson. I had a nice
You're such a liar, dude. You're such a liar.
Really wrote it down, but yeah, okay.
33. I'll just go a little chaos here. I'll say Simpson. And then 44, throw in a random safety.
Random safety it is. Meeks, 2, 16, 33, and 44.
I'm going to go Arvell. I was going to go Omar Cooper because I think Tyson won't. I think the Rams are going to snipe Tyson because it's always the teams in the NFC West ruining my receiver dreams. The Seahawks took JSN. The Rams take Tyson just to continue that train. On and on we go. 33, I'm going to say Zion Young, the edge out of Missouri, just to get more bodies in that pass rush room because I think they're going to need it. And safety at 44, I'll say AJ Halsey.
Strong. I'll be good with that.
Yeah, that'd be a sweet draft. I'm in. Muji will have 2 thumbs up for me if that's what he rolls out of.
The Mooj. We love it. Gentlemen, thank you both for hopping on. This was a lot of fun. Everyone check out Jet Heads, part of the Badlands family of network shows. Their show drops Tuesday morning. Meegs and PK, 2 great Jet fans, but usually on the opposite end of things, which is why I think it's such a fun listen if you're a fan. So both of you, enjoy your weekend. Good luck to your Huskies, Paul, and looking forward to getting you guys on again soon.
Thanks, Jake. Continue, man.
PK and Meegs from Badlands with us there. Hit the like button, comments, questions, super chats. Cut the line. We are presented by PrizePicks. Download the PrizePicks app. Play $5. Get $50 instantly in lineups. Use code HMA. I put a PrizePick lineup together for some sports action tonight, baby. That's what I love about PrizePicks. You could go higher or lower on different sports. That's right. Matthew Schaefer, Islander. Higher than 2.5 shots on goal. More on 2.5 shots on goal. He's going to have at least 3. Jalen Brunson tonight against the Bulls. I'm taking Brunson's point total to be more than 26.5. So I'm on the more on both of these. And this was a 2-pick PrizePick power play. $20 to win, $52. Download the PrizePick app and you could follow my picks. You could follow me there on PrizePicks and you'll see what I'm posting, and you could take my picks. You could pick against my picks, but they're your picks. Check out PrizePicks. Shout out to PrizePicks for being our brand new presenting sponsor. Again, use that code HMA when you sign up. Let's get to a little Asmaniac Madness, and a reminder, Joe Klecko signed helmet is the giveaway at the end of the show. Tomorrow, raffle, weekly raffle, Revis football, Wilson football, Klecko jersey. This is your last show to enter for a chance to win. Here's where we're at with Asmaniac Madness. We're making our way through the extraordinary region, top right in the round of 32. This morning, Dave Briga, in fact, defeated the Chuck Wagon. So it will be Gary versus Dave Briga for a spot in the Elite 8. That is your Sweet 16 matchup at the top of the bracket. And now we get the stage set for Lou B, the 11 seed, and Mr. Bonesy, our defending champion, the number 3 seed. Before voting opens, here is a message from the Lou B campaign. Lou B versus Mr. Bonesy. Spot in the Sweet 16 is on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, Asmaniac Madness is underway.
Who's gonna be the best of the bunch? Asmaniac Madness. You get to pick the ones that make the show rock. I'm legit.
Vote, vote, vote. Your vote determines who advances to the next round in the tournament. What do you guys think of the Jets having breakfast with Jeremiyah Love? That means that maybe with some sweet loving the night before if you're doing breakfast the next day. Hey-oh, hey now. We'll get to your calls shortly here. Also, your super chats. Want to get to anyone who sent a question in. We'll make sure we address it. So write those in the chat. Hawk writes in, I can't think of a coach in history that needs a week 1 win worse than Aaron Glenn. The momentum from that could save his job in our year. I do think week 1 is enormous, but I'd be a little careful saying if they win week 1, it's going to save his job. He's got to do a lot more than that. But yeah, I mean, it's better than losing week 1, especially they play Tennessee. That's a good point that PK made. You lose to Salo week 1, here we go. So I do think there's something to be said for that. So we will see. Well, they need a win in the worst way. There's no doubt about that. Hit the like button if you're just tuned in. Let's get to some of your calls. Love and Brees is first. It's our guy, Fibrows. Hello, Fibrows.
Hey, what's up, Jake? How's it going?
What's up, man?
Let me take this off. Well, they actually won't be able to hear me. So I was thinking, I was thinking about the idea of Love and Brees, and I was like, I know Jets fans would hate it. And I mentioned to you the other day, I was like, maybe, I know he was just trolling or he's blowing smoke, but if it's really serious, I mean, that could be our new Sonic and Knuckles, like how it was so good with the Lions. Like a younger Brees, only 24. Love. I mean, it sounds crazy, but we have a good O-line. If we draft Vega Ahane or whatever with the 16th pick, or get Keelan Rutledge in like the 44th pick, a really good guard. Dude's nasty. You should look him up. He's nasty. We could just run people over. I mean. And then next year, it sounds crazy, but I actually really like the idea. It would be fun as shit. I like offense. I don't care for defense, but it would be awesome. I mean, I know I'll get a lot of hate, but I think
they would trade Brees though. I don't think they would keep both.
No, but you keep Brees. So you have this crazy David Montgomery and Gibbs situation. I know it sounds crazy. Hear me out, but I don't know, dude. I think if you like a guy, you take him, and they could trade back, but if you trade back, someone will probably trade up to get him.
Well, if someone wants to trade up to get him, let the Jets do a deal with that team that wants him. Let's get some extra picks. I don't want to take a running back at 2. I'm vehemently against that.
Okay, well, I understand. So then my other thing is a lot of people are talking about Jordan Tice's injury history, and if he's there at 16, I think we should take him. But the thing about that is if you look at other players that injury histories, extensive injury history coming out of college, Julio Jones had a broken foot, wrist, and shoulder surgeries. Jalen Waddle had a fractured ankle. Keenan Allen had a PCL tear. There's a lot of guys who have been successful even after that. So if I do the research before I even talk, so I think that'll be I think that it could fit. I think we should give him a shot, honestly.
I can't get behind a running back at 2.
I get it. And honestly, I think it's crazy. But if they do believe in it, I mean, people hated the Gibbs pick. People hated
but that's
the
not
Gibbs.
second overall. That's a huge difference.
12th overall, and
they had a
know.
quarterback in Goff that was their guy long term. They had a coach who was their guy in Campbell, right? Like I can't spend the second overall pick on a running back.
But Jake, our offense has been horrible for years.
Yeah, because of the quarterback play, not because they haven't had a dynamic running back. Brees had 1,000 yards last year.
I know, but how did
it work for the Raiders when they took a running back in the top 7?
Chip Kelly's an awful offensive coordinator.
Again, Frank Reich is old. I don't know what he's got left.
And they had a horrible O-line. I look, man, I get it. I get why you'd be like, hell no, I don't like that pick.
How did it work for the Giants when they took Saquon?
Saquon was good, but the O-line was
They didn't win with him, though. Like, he was good, but it didn't lead to anything. They burnt the second pick in the draft. Did they give him a second contract?
Yeah, and Eli was about to, like, retire. And instead of drafting a quarterback, they drafted Saquon. No, I get it. But, I just, like I said, like, I know a lot of people are going to hate this take, and it's okay. It's what makes it fun. And we're just talking. But I personally think it would be fun to watch. I know I'd hate it for fantasy football, but to watch two amazing running backs on the field, I mean, we got Membu, we got this great O-line. I know it sounds crazy, and we should probably take Reese, but like Reese isn't going to score his points. He might defend and help us, but I don't know how he's going to help our offense. And then getting a guy like Love would be.
You have to understand value, Fibrows. The draft's about value. You don't take players. Oh, this guy's not going to help our offense. Yeah, Barbara Reese is a superstar defensive player that will help the offense. Want to know why? Because the defense will be dominant and put the offense in more advantageous situations. You're building a football team. It's not just about the offense. I agree they need to address offense. I'm pounding the table for them to get a receiver at 16. I've talked that weeks now on them needing to add another receiver. Trading up, I'm willing to do. We've been talking about that. You cannot take a running back at 2. I don't think the Jets are going to do it. I think they're doing their homework. Maybe they trade back, and then you could argue you could take Jeremiyah Love. Maybe something happens where a bunch of teams don't have, they don't think the running back's worth the value, and he somehow is there at 16. I doubt it. But you got to do your homework. Maybe the Jets are able to move out at 2, and Love happens to be a player that's there when they move out at 2 somehow. I'd be a little surprised, but the draft's crazy, so you got to be prepared. John LG in the Asmaniac raffle for a signed Joe Klecko helmet at the end of the show. Let's go.
It's the Asmaniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
Prizes are epic. Klecko signed jersey tomorrow. Garrett Wilson signed football tomorrow. And the Darrelle Revis signed football, all coming up in the weekly series tomorrow. Charles Gorman paying it forward to the community. He is in the raffle for 1.
Jets, Jets.
If you got a membership from Charles, make sure you thank him. Ralphie Rocks checking in the raffle for 2 with the super chat. Do you think Love had a man's breakfast of eggs and bacon or an unhealthy beast breakfast of Oreo cookie cereal, warming up on your idea of trading 16 and 44 to get into the top 10? There you go, Ralphie. Love that. Well, I don't know what type of breakfast Jeremiyah Love had, but I do know Beastbreaker is a man's man at the bowling alley right now. Yeah.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6. Now we're getting smoked. Now that number right there, you're about to see. I want you all to watch. Look at those numbers right there. That's 145. Now we're just getting started. You think this is over yet? Not by a goddamn long shot. Bet your sweet ass. Here comes some more fire. Yes. Oh yeah. That feels better. Oh baby. All right, as they all say, Superman to the rescue.
Thank you, Beast, for whatever that was. The Dream, Andrew C. in the house. What if taking Love for a little Cracker Barrel breakfast makes other teams think the Jets are interested? Maybe that's the play. Maybe that is the play. Let teams think the Jets might want Love. And someone who wants Love says, hey, we really want to come up to 2. What's it going to take? The Jets could say, well, we really like Jeremiyah Love. Like, we don't want to come off of him. Hey, we'll offer you this. Muji, sold. Why not? Austrian Jet fan in the Asmaniac raffle for 1.
Jets.
Donna in the raffle for 4. Donna just sent in a $20 super chat, bought 4 raffle tickets. Hey now.
The Jet fans getting a little crazy.
All right, let's get to your calls. We know Mr. Bonesy's out with the wife tonight, so he's not going to be able to call in. He made his case earlier. But Lou B is on the line, and now he will try and get your vote. Lou, what do you have for this community? Why do they need to vote for you?
Well, Jake, first of all, when they voted for Mr. Bonesy last year and he won, the Jets lost. So maybe we need a change of luck, number one. And I know no one wants to hear this, Jake, but when you just said they had breakfast with love, I just almost fell out of my chair because I am a love guy all the way. I know you don't like that pick, but I hope we're together when they do make that pick. And I want them to trade back up to 7 and get Caleb Downs or Bain or someone like that. So no matter who we leave and when, I want to leave with some studs. That's the most important thing for the Jets. I am a big Jet fan, die hard, any game, everyone in this community. Whether you come to a game, you could hang with me and my friends. We are diehard Jet fans, throwing parties at L5, jumping back and forth to different tailgates. I go to the away games, the home games, the Asmaniac meetups. Tampa Bay was wildness with Jake, as we both know. But that's it. I hope you vote for me. I know it's a pretty tough task to go against the champ, Bonesy, who I respect very much. He's a great caller. And once again, shout out to OG Tommy, Jet fan. Unbelievable loss today to the community and to the Jets. I'm so sorry he didn't get to see the Jets turn it around. That bothers me the most about a Jets fan, passing, is that they don't get to see this changeover. But that's it, Jake. Jets, Jets.
Lou, good luck, man. You're a great caller. You happen to be playing the champ, so it's not going to be easy.
It's all good. It's always next year.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Spoken like a true Jet fan. There's always next year. The 3 versus the 11 going on right now in this battle. Mr. Bonesy with the lead, but this is closer than I think many probably thought. 64-36. Bonesy leading. Again, the winner will move to the Sweet 16. And then tomorrow, when I get done with radio, I'm hosting on ESPN New York from 9 a.m. to noon tomorrow. I'm going to do a show with Nick Faria at 12:15, and that will be the Black Gypsy versus Barbarossa battle. And the winner of that will take on whoever wins the matchup going on right now. So we're making our way through. One show at a time. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll get back to your calls shortly. But first, I want to talk about another one of my great sponsors, and that sponsor is Rula. Look, I'm a Jet fan, so I deal with a lot of problems, and that's where Rula could come in. I know a lot of you out there, if you're a Jet fan, you know all about stress. You know about the emotional commitment to being a Jet fan, and that's honestly some things that you carry into your everyday life, family life, relationships, all of it. I've seen people in my life really benefit from therapy when things start piling up. The biggest thing is, though, it's hard to find a way to get a therapist. It's either too expensive, it's hard to find one. That's where Rula comes in. They are a healthcare provider group that makes therapy simple and affordable. They work with most major insurance plans. The average copay is about $15 per session, which is less than a beer at MetLife. With Rula, you get matched with a licensed, vetted therapist who actually fit what you're looking for, and you can book sessions fast, sometimes as soon as the next day. No long waits, no guessing. No nonsense. If you're ready to invest in your mental health the same way you invest in the Jets every week, go to Rula.com/Asman and get started today. That's RULA.com/Asman. Take the first step and take control of your mental health with Rula. More of your calls right now on the Gus Buster Umbrella Hotline. Stefan is on the line. He's next. What's up, Stefan?
Hey, how you doing, Jake? Good to see you again.
What's up, man?
Not too much. Excited for the draft. I've been looking a lot at day 2, day 3 guys. Who are your favorites so far?
Well, 33, I would take Ty if he's there, if you're going to count him.
If he's there, you got to consider it.
Does Denzel Boston make it to 33?
If he does, even if he picked Mekhi at 16, I'd really debate it. At the very least, it'd be a lot of fun.
I'm intrigued by it. Zion Young, I don't know if he's going to make it. It feels like there's a lot of talk about him now. But if you're looking for another edge, maybe Zion Young is a guy out of Missouri who could be there in the second round. What other receivers? Jeremy Bernard from Alabama, maybe at 44.
Bernard's a solid one. I'm a big fan of Skylar Bell and Elijah Surratt. I think they're a bit later in day 2. I've been some day 3 guys I like a lot is Ted Hurst and Kevin Keon.
Ted Hurst was great at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, Ted Hurst. I'm not sure if he's going to make it to day 3 anymore. I feel he's going to be a late 3rd round pick at this point.
100%. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Who's the tight end from Stanford? I watched him earlier because we've been talking about him because of the Frank Reich connection. Sam Roush, 4th, 5th round guy, inline tight end.
Yeah, he's another interesting guy. I feel it's a bit of an underrated tight end class. I don't know if the Jets will. None of them are great, but a bunch of them are solid.
100%. Yeah. Who's your guy at 2? Reese?
Reese, yeah, probably Reese. 16, dreaming of Mackay. 33, Emmanuel McNeil Warren out of Toledo. I really like him. Then 44, there's actually a lot of people I like there. Jacob Rodriguez, the linebacker from Texas Tech, is someone I'm a big fan of. Keith Abney out of San Diego State. Is someone I'm actually a huge fan of him. I'd be really happy with him at 44. Then who else was it? Yeah, depending. It was like Chris Johnson is another solid pick at corner. I like AJ Halsey. There's honestly, for me, I love the depth of this draft. Like when I'm looking at a lot of the like consensus big boards, the mock drafts, I see a lot of guys between like picks 40 and 70 that I like a lot.
I'll tell you what, they better hit on these picks. They got 4 in the top 44, and Muji's got to hit on him if he wants to be here a year from now.
Yeah, that's definitely the big one. He's got a good depth on this class to do it, so we'll see if he does it.
Amen. Good call, Stephen. I appreciate you making it. Let's keep it rolling with your calls right now. For the first time since his victory yesterday to advance to the Sweet 16, the 1 seed in the extraordinary region is next.
Extraordinary. Extraordinary. That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. It's quite extraordinary. Quite extraordinary. You know, women shouldn't vote. Just do laundry and vacuum. Extraordinary.
It's off mute. So we're still on that 50-50 thing. I'm not on mute. That's good.
Well done.
I just first I wanted to can I say a couple thank yous to everybody?
You can't thank everyone who voted for you, but you could thank people who voted for you.
Yeah. All right. So I just wanted to give a shout out to everybody. First, shout out to Amanda. She's a hell of a competitor. She put in the work. She did a great job. But you know, sometimes it's just come up a little short. But shout out to Amanda. She was a hell of a competitor. Then obviously, first and foremost, I want to thank God for putting me in this situation and putting the listeners out there and giving me this platform. Glory to God. I was reading 2 Corinthians chapter 10 that morning, and it says, it says to me, my strength is perfected in your weakness. And I think that's what happened yesterday. I just let God fill in for where I am weak. And we were able to get the victory. But I want to give a shout out to everyone, Nick Steins, Discord, Addy, everyone on the Tazzy show, everyone who made this possible. You guys won this for me. I was just a name on the ballot. You guys did this. Bonesy, Thunderlips, Addy, Kevin Tattoos, OTG, everybody. You got Iowa Jets fan, Dana Russell. You guys know who you are on the Tazzy show, on Nick Steins, Discord, everybody. And I think we did a good job. And to Amanda, congratulations. You did a great job. But I think ultimately now you can know your place. You can get back in the kitchen, and you can start working on becoming a stay-at-home wife and mom, which is the best for society. But shout out for you. When you beat a man, you create a rival. If you beat a woman, you create a housewife, and I think that's good for society, Jake. I think that's ultimately good for society. But I don't know if you were reading your chat. There was someone.
Dave Briga has so much ammunition now to one punch you in the next round. That's gonna be quite telling.
Well,
assuming
Dave
wins.
Briga, Dave Briga did win.
I'm saying he's gonna knock you out next round.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, shout out Dave Briga. Dave Briga is, I would imagine, going to agree with everything I just said. Everything.
I doubt it. All right.
Okay. I don't know if you were reading your chat yesterday, but someone, the name Sent from Pet, said that Gary 3D Boxing saved my marriage and made me a bunch of money. And that's what 3D boxingism is all about. It saves lives. It saves marriages.
How did you save this random commenter?
I don't know. It didn't say. He just said Gary 3D boxing saved my marriage and made. Well, I guess he listens to my channel, and that's how he made a bunch of money. But that's really the second.
So how did you save this person's marriage?
You'd have to ask him. I don't know. It said, and you go back and read it. It's right after I give my little speech. Where I took my call. It's like, vote for Gary 3D boxing. He saved, his name is Sent from Pet. He said, I saved his marriage and I made him a bunch of money. So I don't know. You can go back. You can go back and look at it. So
now, what are your thoughts on the voter fraud that was involved in this? A lot of people in the chat talking about that. I see.
I don't know about those allegations. That's not anything. What voter
Gary?
fraud?
I created like 3 accounts today. I already had 4, so I was like 7.
Yo,
and it almost wasn't enough. So I'm glad.
Every vote, man. Every vote. I needed every vote. I appreciate y'all. Really. How is that fraudulent? There's no rules to the election. There are literally no rules. How is that fraudulent?
So you think what Jets Johnny admitted to there is legal?
It's like voting for the All-Star game. I don't see why it would be illegal. Do you ever vote for the All-Star game and you make more accounts to get more votes? I don't know why that would be cheating. It's like Bill Belichick. He's just working within the rules, which there aren't many of. You can't blame a guy for that. But shout out to Jets Johnny as well, Knob and Addy, who made that awesome song. I think that really, you guys won this. You guys voted for me. I didn't do nothing but have my name on the ballot. You guys won this for me.
So what are your thoughts on going up against Dave Brigga?
We'll go against Dave Brigga, and I'm confident. Obviously, like I got a tremendous team of people. This was a team effort. These guys did that. Right? It was like when they asked Missoula about winning Coach of the Year. It's like, it's a stupid award. The players and the staff win it. I don't do nothing. And that's how I feel. These guys won it. The guys listening won it. You guys know who you are. There's too many to name, and Jake will eventually cut me off. But every one of you, Hawk, Bonesy, of course, Thunderlips, everybody. You guys know who you are. You guys, Jay Graves voted for me 3 times too. So shout out to all of y'all. Like, you guys are the best. You guys made this possible.
Well, let me ask you this, Gary. What are your thoughts on being, this polarizing figure to a point where you got all these votes yesterday, but just now, and like, I'm just catching up on this in real time, you were sent to the hole.
Now look what you've done, Gary. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
$50 Venmo from Amanda Madison to put Gary in the hole. What a turn of events. Unbelievable. But hey, Gary is Gary. That we know. Gary, you were something else, but you are now in the hole. We will see you later.
You can't keep a good man down.
Now look what you've done, Gary. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
Looks like it's going to be one of those shows. Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. Mike Perez has just posted the bail for Gary. Gary's a free man.
See, I'm your top earner. I should start charging you a commission. I really should.
Leader of Jets might be. I feel like you haven't been sent to the hole in a while.
That's true. Leader of Jets. They say that no matter what your business is, 80% of your business comes from 20% of your sales force. I think that's even more exaggerated into this. I think me and Leader of Jets bring you more than 80% of your revenue, and we're less than 20%. But and shout out to Dominic D'Angelo too, my paisan. Good job. I appreciate that. Everybody, you guys made this possible. You guys won this. I didn't win this. Y'all won this. And I just want to know, what did Amanda send me to the hole for telling her she's a hell of a competitor and congratulating her? She
You
fought a
called
hell
her.
of
You
a
called
fight.
it. You were offensive in your call. Don't play dumb.
How was I offended by saying she's a hell of a competitor and
That's
she
not
put
what
in the
you
work
said.
in?
What you said about women in general is people. People rightfully would be offended by that. You know exactly what you're doing.
And if you
you're
beat a
trolling.
man, you create a rival. If you beat a woman, you create a housewife.
Yeah,
that's a good thing. That's not. That's what is wrong with a housewife, Jake?
Gary, I'm not. I don't have the patience to get into one of these dumb back and forths with you. You're a free man. Congratulations, you versus Dave Brigga in the next round. Go get him.
Shout out Dave Brigga. This is a good battle. I love Dave Brigga. I know it's come a long way, but Dave Brigga is my guy. Best of luck to you, Dave. But not too much luck, because sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
We'll see you later, Gary. Thank you. All right. On that note, super chat from Andrew C. Let's be honest, though. How many accounts did Beast make to vote for Amanda? I don't know. But we take allegations of voter fraud seriously. But unfortunately, YouTube chat means there's nothing we could do. So, Gary, guess what? Like, the good news is, like, you could try and rig it again against Dave Brigga. The bad news is Mimosa just put you right back in the hole, baby. Oh, yeah.
You can't keep a good man down. You can't keep a good man down.
Now look what you've done, Gary. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give him another 24 hours to think about it.
Shout out to Mimosa. Hope you're doing well, Mimosa. Your signed wing Corvette football, I got an email, was being packed and sent off today. So you'll get that this upcoming week. Mimosa in the raffle for 10, Mike Perez in the raffle for 10, and Amanda in the raffle for 10 for these bounties and bail postings. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline to the Rooster who joins us. Hello, Rooster.
You know something? I was going to start with football, but we got to discuss Mr. Gary. So yesterday I said I was supporting Gary, and that was the reason why, his phone call, because he's consistently a jerk off. And in the Asmaniac pool, you need consistency. We are voting for the best Asmaniac. If we were voting for prettiest, Amanda, nicest, Amanda, cordial, Amanda, but we weren't yesterday. We were voting for the best Asmaniac, and he got my vote.
But to be fair, you could vote for whoever you want for whatever reason.
But I'm just giving the Rooster reason. And today he lived up to it because he's such a piss poor winner in his own condescending way. And eventually it will get him. He will lose eventually. He can have all his little fixed votes he wants, and he will go down. But he's consistent, I'll tell you. He plays the part of the villain very well. And, you know, we love him for it. But let's go back to Mr. 5'8" Browse. Come on. We're not taking a running back at 2. 2 is almost easy already. Arvell Reese is flying off the charts. He has a chance to be a superstar. The downside isn't there. What they say is because of the rushing in the court. The guy does everything. We take him at 2. We hope we get a receiver at 16. And then 33 will be interesting. 33, where Simpson is, you'll make a decision. If he's still hanging around, do we jump in to get him? Do we wait till 33? But you got to come away at 16 with the pass catcher, whether it's the 3 receivers, whether it's Sadiq. Easy peasy. It's not, I like that they're doing all the due diligence. That's what you do. Maybe someone offers you something and you trade back. I don't want to. Take Reese. Let's not overthink. Let's not make this harder than it is. Throw the card in and then worry what we got to do at 16. That's my thought. Mr. Jake, thoughts?
I would not want to take a running back at 2. I think it'd be ridiculous.
Right. Makes no sense.
The only scenario where Jeremiah Love could ever be a Jet is if they traded down and got a bunch of picks for it, and then they're like, he's just the best player, we're taking him, and then I'd want to trade Brees and get at least a 3.
One other question. Does Gary think that things in space, or does he believe that the Artemis 2 isn't real?
Well, I would say we can't ask him because he's in the hole, but that just changed. Cisco Lopez. Gary has been freed once again. Gary, answer the Rooster's question now that you're a free man.
Shout out
Gary.
Cisco, and shout out Leon is him. Leon is him. Shout out Leon is him. Yeah, Rooster.
Hey, buddy.
What's up, my dude? So I'm going to answer your question in just a second. So by thanking everyone and saying the victory is theirs, not mine, that's being a sore winner. How could I possibly
Gary,
be more
come
humble than
on.
not taking
It's
credit?
condescending. Come on. I love it. I love you.
By giving them credit for the
Because
victory?
it's almost you do it in a way that comes off condescending. I love it. I love you. I said I wanted to vote for you yesterday.
No, Rooster,
I love
you
your
like
game.
him because he is condescending.
I do. I love your
Yeah.
game. You're consistent. You stayed right on Amanda. You got the thing in the kitchen. You're consistent. You're a great caller. You give funny things, and some people might think you're a crazy animal. But I want to know, you think Artemis 2 is up there right now?
I don't know where it is. I don't know. I've been super busy. I haven't looked in it. I don't know. I don't really have a good answer. Like anything I said right now would just be like pure speculation. I don't know anything about it. It seems fugazi. You launched on April 1st while we're at multiple awards. It's like, look at this thing. Don't look at what's going on. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an informed opinion on it yet.
All right. What do you think of 2? We'll get a quick 2 from you. You like Reese? Are you Reese or no?
I guess I thought Frankie got the better of that debate, but I kind of think
no
Reese is the better
way.
player.
I don't.
The more they debated Reese, and the more I like Caleb Downs, honestly. Like, you're asking one guy who Frankie thought wasn't very good, and the other guy, Joe, is saying you kind of have to transform him into another position. I don't want to do that at 2. I want a sure thing at 2. And like, Caleb's a sure thing.
All I know is I had a lot of buddies, Ohio State fans, and they said, dude, he was dominant. He did everything for him. You just don't, if you're not watching everything. And when he wasn't on the field, things broke down. That's how good he is. So I think we're getting a superstar. I really do.
Let me ask you this though. Caleb Downs, the Texas Ohio State game, first game of the season, with all those pros on both sides of the ball, Texas, Ohio State, Caleb Downs is the best player in the field, wasn't he?
Yeah.
At hell of a field to be the best player on.
But hold on, at times you could say Styles was the best player on the field too.
Okay, yeah. All right.
The position, we still know defensive end, linebacker. It's something we're missing. It's a no-brainer. Great kid. He timed out, productive. Not productive pass rushing yet, but does everything else, takes on blockers. I don't think we overthink this. I think we'll be very happy with him and so forth.
I think if it is Reese, and my guess is that it's going to be Reese, I don't think we'll regret it. But like, is he going to, Mendoza aside, who's the best player in the draft? If it's Reese, take Reese. If it's someone else, take someone else. But it very well could be Reese. So I'm not against taking Reese. I'm just not sold on him.
It's also best player in the draft and best projection. You got to look at it there too. Reese at 20 years old, he's going to be a stud. He hasn't even filled out yet. That's what's scary. Imagine how big they could be. Love him.
Is he an edge? Like if he's an edge?
I'm not sure where they're. I don't know where they're going to do with him exactly. But he's a football player. You're going to put him on the field. He's going to make plays.
Then he's not going to be a bad pick, right? Like he's not going to be bad. The question is he the best player in the draft? I don't know the answer to that.
That we will find out. Gary, good luck in this pool. Good win yesterday. Stay the same. Jake, I love you. Let's go.
Rooster, appreciate the call. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Let's keep it rolling right now with your calls. We got the raffle at the end of the show. Joining us right now is a man who won an Asmaniac Madness matchup earlier today. His opponent, Gary 3D Boxing. It's Brigga time.
He thinks that Gary needs more shots upside his head. This cowboy hates when you don't believe in achievement. Well, they call him One Punch Brigga. The moon landing was free. They call him One Punch Brigga. His claim is not too dirty. One Punch Brigga. Hated jokes and spite his ass. One Punch Brigga. Doesn't only need them.
Jake, good evening.
Hello, Dave.
How's things going? I heard your show on ESPN today. You did a good job.
I saw you in the comments. Appreciate you listening, Dave.
Yeah, it was good. Anyway, I think we have to address this voter fraud issue. I will never accept fraudulent voting as a way to victory. Jets Johnny became Mayor Richard Daley in the 1960 presidential election, which was corrupted. So I think we have to put a stop to this. I think we have to investigate these. And I'm glad Gary won because I'd rather face him than Amanda because it's more of a challenge. But, guys making multiple votes, fraudulent votes, is not acceptable on my end. So I mean, we have to try to figure this thing out so there's not fraudulent votes, because we know there's that whole section of people that come in from another channel that vote fraudulently, I think.
Yeah. Look, I mean,
You
it was
know?
admitted live on the air. This was sent to me
Yeah,
by an
yeah.
anonymous
I mean, it's
listener.
not
during-
acceptable, right, Jake? Is that acceptable to you?
Well, unfortunately, YouTube really doesn't let me do anything to prevent it. Like, it's just a YouTube poll. And like, we can make the limits on subscribers. Like, you have to be like a subscriber of mine for like an hour. People are just creating accounts. I can make tighter restrictions on that. But I mean, again, this was sent to me on the record here. Jets Johnny, who was in Asmaniac Madness, admitting to voting fraud.
That you won, Gary. I created like 3 accounts today. I already had 4, so I was like 7.
Look at that, 7.
And it almost
corrupted
wasn't
votes.
enough. So I'm glad. You
Every
did
vote,
it,
man. Every vote. I needed every vote. I appreciate y'all. Really.
Poor Amanda's got her election was corrupted. That's not right. That's not right. I feel bad for her because she put in a great effort. She gave it 100%. So you guys that do that, you should be ashamed of yourself. Let the thing happen naturally. Let it happen. And as far as the quote on the Artemis 2 being Fugazi, I mean, come on. Come into the real world. Will you please? Enough is enough. I'm just ready for this next one. So Gary, you're putting gasoline into the fire of nonsense. Turn on the tube. It happened, man. It happened. Jake, you saw it, right? Did I go up? You gotta be on the moon or on Mars. Maybe Gary wants to go on the trip to Mars. Maybe that's what he's planning. I don't know. Anyway, there'll be no spiritual content in Gary's and my confrontation, because we both agree basically on the same thing. So we're not going there. So, okay. All right. So, Jake, you have any questions?
Dave, my only question is, are you ready to rumble?
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the Asmaniac Rumble.
Dave, I voted for you. I have 2 accounts, the Nets one and this one, and the boxing one. I voted for you from both accounts. Is that fraudulent? Was your election fraudulent?
You voted for me. How now? I don't understand.
I have 2 accounts. I have 2 different. I have this account and nothing but Nets. I voted for you from both my accounts because I wanted you to win.
Yeah, you should have one man, one vote. That's all.
There's no rules like that. There's no rules.
Well, I'm just going by the rules of our Constitution, I mean, I don't understand Asmaniac rules. I guess there's different rules, right?
Well, it's like voting for the All-Star game. Like, do you ever vote for the All? You can vote as many times as you want, right? Do you ever vote for the?
I only vote for Pete Rose. That's the only one I ever voted for.
There you go.
That's it. That's my man.
Congrats on the win, Dave. I'm looking forward to going up against you in
But
Sweet
Gary,
16.
don't you agree that these fraudulent votes are not acceptable? Don't you agree on that?
Well, there's going to be fraudulent votes in all directions, right? Like, so the question is, who can get more fraudulent votes? Like, fraudulent would mean that you're cheating or that you're breaking the rules, and there really are no rules.
Well, so I guess in that sense, you're right. There are no rules, but there should be rules, Gary. There should be rules.
And if that's something that maybe the committee can address next year, right? But right now, you can't change the rules.
Well, what are we going to do? Are we going to go out there and try to tell everybody to just bombard the voting with fraudulent votes? I mean, just multiple votes on every end. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy.
With the way that YouTube runs the polls, I don't see really any way around it, right? I mean, I'm not telling anyone to do anything. I'm just saying I don't know how that's avoidable.
I guess at this point it isn't. So they'll just continue on with fraud. In a real world, it's fraud. In the real world.
My wife's family is mostly from Chicago. I mean, she was born here, but her family is all from Chicago, like where her dad grew up. And they have a saying in Chicago: "Vote early, vote often."
Yeah,
kind of.
Well, it goes back to Mayor Daley and Sam Giancana.
Yeah.
And Carlos Marcello. So all those guys were involved. Then when they didn't get their way, they found out. When they stabbed Frank Sinatra in the back, that was it. All right.
All right, Dave.
Take it
Best
easy,
of luck.
Gary. God bless.
Look forward to it. Yes, sir. You
Thank
too.
you.
He
Jake,
thinks that Gorman needs to get a freaking job. This cowboy hates to see Asmaniacs complain. What they call him, one-punch Sprigger. You need to get a job. What they call him, one-punch Sprigger. The beast is on his ass. They call him one-punch Sprigger. Has anyone seen Dean Mack? They call him one-punch Sprigger. He'll only need one.
Good call there from Dave Brigga and from Gary, who's been freed from the hole twice today. More of your calls. Let's get the opinion of the number 1 overall seed in this year's Asmaniac Madness tournament.
My opinion is that Gary is hilarious with that little spiel. That he kind of brought it all back with the creating a housewife. It was very funny. It's what they call in the modern political parlance to play to the base. So
yeah, I love when he plays dumb, as if we don't all know what he's doing.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Hold on 1 second. I have to let little Miss Clifton in. Lock the door behind you.
This is
Sorry
a
about
tremendous
that.
look.
Yes.
We can't see anything going on. We just see a head.
Lock it. I'm on the phone. Yeah. So, I think Gary's absolutely right about one thing. The time to change it is kind of between voting cycles. That's how it kind of works in our elections, right? Like, yeah, it's really how it's done. Like, if one side has a beef with anything, then they address it between cycles because you can't really address it on the fly. And I don't really think there's anything wrong with it. It's like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or the All-Star Game, as he said. That's kind of how it's done on the internet, and this is an internet show. But what I will say is they've kind of given you the formula to take them down. If there's enough of a grassroots movement, that's how you oppose that kind of thing. So that's the interesting part of it. But I mean, he deserves to advance. He's a tremendous caller. The whole idea that we need to address offense, and this is Fibrows, because the offense was so bad, it makes me think that people didn't watch the defense last year. Right? Like the defense was historically bad, and it's just a matter of urgency. And for Jet fans, this is especially an indignity because throughout our history, even when we've been bad, the defense is usually something we can hang our hat on. So, like, pick the best player. There's so many holes. I happen to think, it's a two-player race for two at number 2. It's likely going to end up being Reese. I will be very happy with either player. I don't think Love enters into the conversation, unfortunately for Lou B. I would love any fan would love to have Love on their team. It's just at what cost? And then, at 16, I know a lot of people are, saying they're dead set against Tyson, whatever. Like, you have to see what's there, right? Like, yeah, maybe Vega is a need, is there, and he fills a need, and he's projected to be a tremendous player, and you go the safe way out. But I mean, I think that it was Hawk that said it in the chat. He still had like 2,000 yards last year with all these injuries. This guy is, like Gary said that Leon is him. I think that Tyson might be him. I think he's pretty good. So it
scares me with the injury stuff, but that's why you have the Jets doctors look at him. He's going to do that pro day for teams 6 days before the draft, and you get a better idea then.
Yep. Great job on ESPN New York today, Jake. I didn't get to hear the end part of of our conversation, but as usual, you kind of brought it home. Have a great day,
Kyle. Appreciate you. Good call there. A couple super chats I want to acknowledge. We got a lot of entries in the raffle. I got to count up. Shout out to Major Poonage. Sent this earlier. Get me in the raffle. Gary 3D, Patriot fan, is a moron. Man, the polarization of Gary 3D boxing, folks. Bino says, One Punch Brigga, a true man's man and leader of Brigga State Brigade. Gary versus Brigga is just perfect. Great matchup. You got the moon landing debacle going on between those two. All the battles. Voter fraud situation now. Just a fantastic Sweet 16 bout. Rooster in the raffle for 2, all the way with Dave. Dave Brigga versus Gary. He's electric. More calls. L5, Chef Fink is on the line. What's up, Fink? You never call this show.
What's up, Jake? How you doing?
Well, welcome aboard, Fink. What's the latest with the L5 tailgate?
We're in the off season. We're preparing. We got some good stuff cooking up. We're getting ready to pick out. Once the schedule comes out, we'll get the jerseys going. But hey, I just figured I caught you on ESPN New York earlier, doing a great job out there, representing us so well. I'm gonna hold off on the baseball stuff. I see where you lie. I lie on the other side of town. But I think we can all agree. I'm currently up in
You guys get a hit with a runner in scoring position yet, or still working on that?
Give me like 3 months. I'll get back to you. Tell you what, though, Belly had a hell of a catch today. I don't think that's ever going to get beat for a minute.
I saw him say that he just guessed. He just threw his glove up there. He didn't even know. Like, that's crazy.
Incredible hand-eye coordination, even with eyes in the back of your head. But no, I just want to come out. I tell you what, though, the entertainment coming out of this voting is just fantastic. It is something else. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I'm loving all the opinions, all the takes on who to take it 2, who to take it 16, who to take it 33. Quite honestly, I don't want to see Ty Simpson coming back to One Jets Drive, but that's just a personal opinion. I think Moogly's doing a hell of a job, but we got a long off season. It's going to be a long month, a lot of back and forth takes.
Yeah, look, I mean, they just get it right at the end of the day. It's on Muji to get it right. I think fans have a confidence in him, but this draft, and if he's here for the next one, that's ultimately going to define his time with the Jets. He's either going to get it right or he won't. He won't be here.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing. And, looking at the offseason so far, he looks like he's just trying to keep it right. He's not making moves that are rocking the boat too much. It feels like he's just putting the pieces back together that kind of fell apart last season. I mean, the defense looks like it's, restacked. Putting Reese in the middle would be just a godsend for our linebacker core. Let him learn from Demario Davis. Get a wide receiver at 16, pair with Garrett and AD. I think you really see this team take off next season.
Love it. Chef?
And also,
Go
just
ahead.
had to come out and say, Got to represent for my guy Lou B. I know he's been showing up at L5 all year last year. He's a classic. He's a classic. I know he's a big matchup right here. He's got a lot of ground to cover, but I mean, Lou B. I say he was at almost every game last year, and the only reason I say almost was because I wasn't at every game. I can't confirm, but hey, man, we got some fun stuff coming up.
Chef Fink, you're the man. Great call. And Luby's great. Bonesy's great. Tough one. Lou will not be an 11 seed in this tournament a year from now. Once more people get to know him. So he started calling in, in like the middle of the Jet season. But Lou's a great guy, great dude. Working with him on our draft party in Pittsburgh. So anyone coming to that, you'll meet Lou B. It'll be a lot of fun. Rooster says Tyson's a superstar. Run to the podium if he's there at 16. Amen. If you believe that, take him. I have some concerns with the health, but we'll see. Let's get to more of your calls, shall we? Let's say hello to a man who needs no introduction around these parts. We call him the Gourmanator.
You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. I'm not saying that Glowski takes steroids. Please stop loving. Hey, child! Who is that lovely lady? Sing it this way, child!
Hey everyone.
before I get started, what I want to say, for most of you still in the chat, you have my condolences. I'm sorry for the loss of your mother. And also, I'm sure you heard from Nick Shine this morning, the OG Jets fan passed away. So I want to say condolences to his family and friends, and they all be my prayers.
I talked about it on my show, Charles. So yes, we are aware.
As for the whole Jeremiyah Love situation, I think there's a chance the Jets may get him only if they trade Breece Hall. Other than that, I don't see the Jets getting him. So he's my favorite player in the draft, but unless the Jets trade Breece, Jeremiyah Love's not an option.
Well, I don't think they would trade Breece first. I think they would draft Love and then trade Breece.
Good point. Listen, Jake, I'm gonna get going. My phone's about to die.
What are you looking at?
I'll talk to you later. Huh?
What are you looking at?
I was waiting for my ride. I just called my Uber. I'm at Pino's right now, about to head out. Have a good day, all right, Jake? Talk to you later.
What did you have for dinner? He's gone. Great stuff, Charles. Thank you. Let's go to Hep, who's next. Hey, Hep.
Hey, Jake. How you doing, bud?
What's up, man?
Don't worry. Jeremiyah Love probably is going to be offensive rookie of the year. He's probably going to have a career like Emmitt Smith. So don't worry about it. The Jets definitely won't draft him because it's like the Dan Marino story all over again.
I don't want a running back that high, though. He could be. I had no doubt he's going to be a very good player, if not a great player. I don't think the Jets are the team for him, though. I don't think it makes sense.
Well, I don't understand. I know, like you say, for example, is Reese going to be the next Lawrence Taylor? I mean, is that what we're projecting him to be? Or
no, but is Reese going to be a really, really good football player? I think he will be, and he plays a premium position that's more valuable than a running back.
Is it? I mean, the running backs get the ball 25 times a game. What is the
Okay,
wide
so
receiver get?
let's play this out, Hep. Let's say that Arvell Reese ends up being an all-pro edge rusher, and Jeremiyah Love is an all-pro running back. Who, one, has the longer career, right? And two, who gets paid more?
Well, yeah, definitely the other running backs have definitely been devalued in this decade for sure.
And a pass rusher could play a lot longer as well. Like, if you're building your team, follow the money, right? Look at the NFL. Quarterback gets paid the most.
Yeah.
Then it's receiver, it's defensive end, and then it's offensive tackle. Those are the four most valuable positions in the sport.
Yeah, that's what it's.
And corner might actually be 4 or 5. I have to look at what the latest, AAV is. But again, those are the top 5 positions right there. So I can't take a running back at 2.
But when you look at the running back position, the running backs seem to be getting the ball 25 plus times a game. Where you see where a wideout gets the ball maybe 10 times a game. When you have a running back similar with the caliber of Love,
they don't get the ball 25 times a game. Most teams don't have one guy that gets the ball.
Oh, you're talking about the tag team, the committee running backs.
Even still, it's a passing league. You very rarely see one guy just get 25 touches every single game. Again, Love's a phenomenal player. He would help the Jets. There's no doubt. But you already have Breece, and it's the second pick in the draft. It doesn't make sense to me to take a running back that high.
Do you think that the Titans are going to try to come up and get him at 2?
Rich Samini reported on my collective show with him that he heard they're not interested.
Okay, well, maybe he falls. Maybe we can get him, later on.
I don't look. If he's there at 16, take him. Fine. He's not going to be there at 16, though. I think he still goes in the top 10.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be there at 16 either. But we'll see what because right away he'd be the face of the franchise. He would very, very, very exciting to watch. Because. Let's face it, our offense has sucked forever, man. We haven't.
But they just had a running back go over 1,000 yards, and their offense still was bad. Right?
Yeah, that was great.
How much better is Jeremiyah Love in year 1 going to be than what we just saw Breece do?
I don't know. He's a pretty good running back. Breece doesn't seem to seem the same as he was the first couple of years.
Because Breece tore his ACL, which is an injury that happens. A lot, and if it happens to a guy who gets the ball the amount of times Love gets it, he's more susceptible to injuries. That position, that's why the running back shelf life is not as long as other positions.
Yeah, that's true. I just want to see some good offense. I'm just tired of
Why 16 should be a weapon. You could double up on wide receiver, and I would not be against it. You could take Sadiq at 16 and then take a receiver, Denzel Boston at 33.
I like that.
Back at 2 makes sense.
Yeah, I like that. I like because Boston reminds me of like a Wayne Corbett type of player, although he's very big. More of a possession guy, get the first down, move the chains. He dropped the ball only 4 times in his whole career in college. So he's got really short hands, and he's very smooth for a big guy. So and Sadiq, he's just built like an Adonis, that guy. So yeah, I like those 2 calls as well. I just hope Reese really turns out to be like a Lawrence Taylor type of player, because I imagine he's going to play rushing the passer as well as going back into coverage. He's young too, but he's like 20 years old.
Reese is 20, correct.
Yeah, so that's young, man. Yeah, we might have something there. All right, guys, thanks.
Hep, thank you. See, he came around eventually. We're presented today by ZipRecruiter. The New York Jets are doing job interviews right now. In fact, they had a breakfast meeting with Jeremiyah Love. But perhaps if they use ZipRecruiter, they'd be guaranteed to nail all their job interviews. To get the best team, you got to use ZipRecruiter. Hopefully the Jets are listening. ZipRecruiter does the scouting for you. Their smart matching technology finds top candidates that check all your boxes. You can even add screening questions, so you're only talking to real difference makers. It's basically like hitting on all your draft picks, which as Jet fans we know is easier said than done. Score the best for your team with ZipRecruiter. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/audio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Going to get to more of your calls coming up. We also have last chance for entries for the Joe Klecko signed helmet. Enter the raffle, gift a membership. When you do that, you'll have a chance to win the helmet, plus a signed Revis football tomorrow, a signed Garrett Wilson football tomorrow, and a signed Joe Klecko jersey, all coming up on the show tomorrow. A lot to still get into. More of your calls right now.
My balls feel like they've been destroyed in pieces. We just finished bowling 5 matches. Probably the best one I ever had was a 152 shot. Anybody who goes against me is going to get smashed. And we are right about one thing. This voter fraud's got to have to stop, because what we saw yesterday was a disgrace. And if I was Tom Holman right now, I'd be like, all right, I'd say we maybe a redo on that, because I smell a lot of caca all over it. It's bullshit. It's a disgrace. But I do want to see Brigger crush Gary in half and put his carcacal, nasty, degraded warthog ass right in the grave, right where he belongs. And I will have a eulogy ready for him, because after months of being degrading, being horrified by a degrading man with a low IQ, no lower than cheap Dollar Tree toilet paper, and a disgrace to this country, trying to say women are not allowed to vote. Oh, hell no, son. Let me address it. Women are allowed to vote, and if you don't like it, tough shit. Deal with it. All right, Treat. Now remember that, Gary. Women are allowed to vote, and they're allowed to work too. So deal with it, sucker. You don't like it? Tough titties, kid. Hey, brother, what's going on, man? Another day, ain't it? There you go. There you go. I'll tell you what, here you go. You're paid. That's right. Yeah. So I'm just telling you, Gary, don't ever say women are not allowed to vote, because that's not true. And don't ever, and let me say it one more time, don't you ever say women are not allowed to vote or work. Because I will. What are you talking about? This whole team looks like it's shot to shit. Who the hell do you think you are? I am.
All righty then. More of your calls coming up. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. We say hello to Ron, who's next. Hey, Ron.
Hey, Jake. How you doing? Hi. First, one question is, Gary, does he train women at 3D boxing? I'm just curious, because that would be like a contradictory thing for him if the women being boxers and stuff. Is it? Do you know? Are you aware? Does he train women?
I have no idea.
No. Okay, I was just curious about that. But anyway, want to bring up about Frank Reich. Everybody keeps saying that he might be too old and everything's passed him by. Well, the Harbaugh brothers are both like 62, 64, and they're not too old. I mean, it's not like just because his age, he's going to forget everything or not be involved in all the new concepts and offenses. Like he's in the mix with everybody. I'm sure he sits at the table and gets all kind of ideas. So I just wanted to bring that up. That the age is just a number. He still looks pretty good too. But I mean, I'm sure that the game hasn't passed him by that way. Just an observation there. Also, you had somebody on last week. I don't know if it was a caller talking about the Sadiq tight end here, and you guys were going over. He was comparing him to other tight ends over the last couple of years that were drafted, and nobody at all, none of the guys that have been drafted, like the guy I'm just slipping my mind on Buffalo, Pittsburgh. This guy Sadiq was below all those guys as far as even would have been on draft day. So maybe he's not such a bargain just because he's a pass catching tight end and maybe the best in this draft, almost like the Simpson situation. He might not really be a first round pick just in this draft. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, look, I mean, there's things to like about his game, Ron, and that's why people will sing his praises that argue for him. I just think there's enough concerns and there's enough historical data to show you it's probably not worth the swing at 16, especially when you're the Jets and you have 3 first-round picks next year and your coach is on the hot seat. Like it muddies the waters. The Jets don't need to do it. And if they like him but don't love him, you don't take him at 16. Everyone's got to be aligned and be like, this is the guy. We believe he's going to be the outlier. Even though we have all this data that says this little start doesn't translate to the next level, like you need to have everyone aligned that this is the move.
Right. This hat was a gift from Joe Klecko right here. It's signed up here in the corner.
Nice.
Yeah, a friend of mine played with him at Temple years ago. And anyway, he had seen me wearing a shirt that said Klecko's Gym. You'll probably never see another one. Anyway, and he said, hey, I'm a Klecko fan. And, it was before he got into the Hall of Fame. I said, and if he ever does, we're all going to go. Anyway, I didn't end up going, but Joe sent me through him the hat signed by him. So it's like my prize. I love Joe Klecko. Big fan. So anyway, so good luck to whoever gets the Klecko jersey out there.
Ron, you're the man. Great call. Always appreciate you pulling over too, because everyone always complains when we get the drivers.
Thanks, Jake. Oh, Jake, real quick. The thing earlier with Beastbreaker, the Superman thing, him flying through the ceiling. I mean, that was freaking hilarious. I don't know how you don't laugh more. Like was that the first time I haven't seen that one yet. That was freaking hilarious, man.
I think I played it a couple times, but just for you, Ron, we'll play you out properly.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That feels better. Oh, baby. All right. As they all say, Superman to the rescue.
I mean, that's the good stuff right there. Shout out to Gator for making that one. All right. Couple calls left. Shane from Texas is up next. What's up, Shane?
Hey, what's happening, Jake? Just rewinding it back to Glenn's statement about Promised Land and everything like that, about Geno. Do you think he's going to start talking reckless if Geno has a mediocre, say, September, and start with his antics the way he did last year?
What are you asking?
About he was just with the quarterbacks last year. I can't tell you who's that. He was all top secret with the media and everything.
Yeah.
And you think if he has a decent, Geno has a decent time, playing quarterback, is he going to start with that? Yeah, I've told you so. He's going to do it and, start with his cockiness again.
You mean if they start winning, will he be cocky? I'm sure he will. Well, I mean, he was cocky before he won anything. Arian Smith had a good practice and he chastised the media for questioning that pick. Remember that?
Yeah, no. And it's just, I feel like that's his downfall. It's dude, and you're about to be loaded with some really nice picks. Muji's doing excellent about making his moves and getting,
but if they're winning, I don't care. You could beat Rex Ryan was cocky, but he won. You know what I mean? If that's who Glenn is, great. But don't come in swinging, and then go and win 3 games and start 0-7 and not just how they started 0-7, what it looked like. Like he was the reason why they were 0-7. He was horrific.
Yeah, it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. And I feel like now he's a little more poised. He's a little more conscious about how he's structuring his talk. I feel like, he's definitely coming off like a different, more of a humble guy. But I think once he starts winning, or if they do decent, he's going to ramp it right back up. But that's just one of my observations. And for Gary, man, Gary, you got to take it easy with this women's stuff. Because I used to tell my wife, you need to be as barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. Didn't work out too great. Doesn't work out too great when you talk like that, buddy. But I love this whole March Madness with everybody. It's been great. But Brigga, give him that one punch because he deserves it. He needs it.
I had Gary in my personal bracket going to the championship game, but I think Dave Brigga's got a chance to knock him out. I do.
No, he's taking him out. He's getting ding dong. Sorry, Gary. Get your headpiece on and your mouthpiece in. Because he's got the Lord of Thunder in his hand. He's going to give it to you one shot, and it's going to be like,
hey, Shane, good call, man. Appreciate it.
All right, take it easy, Jake. Thanks.
Shane checking in Texas. Love it. Comments, questions, super chats, last chance to get in. Reminder, if you don't already know, that with less than 3 weeks to go for the NFL draft, we're having a draft party.
Draft Day 2026 live from Pittsburgh. Jets Nation on the clock. Gang Green take Fat McFadden's day and night draft party hosted by the Jay Gasner Show. Thursday, April 23rd, doors open at noon. Let's go! Yeah!
Let's go, baby. Let's freaking go. It is all happening. Can't wait, man. Can't wait. I know Lou B doesn't look like he's going to win today in Asmaniac Madness, but Lou's going to be winning draft night when we're throwing a party together at McFadden's in Pittsburgh. Can't wait for that. All right, I got time for one last call. We'll get to the raffle, so this is your last chance to enter that. Let's say hello to a man that we call the Dream. Andrew C. is today's closer. Dream, what do you got?
Hey, Jake.
Hey, Andrew.
What's up, Asmaniacs?
How are you?
Let the dog out before he starts doing his thing. All right, let's get right to it. I got a couple of bullet points, okay? My favorite call of the week, right? Winston. The guy who had us winning 11 games this season. Right?
11-6.
Dude, that call, I had a smile on my face that entire call because you were going through the schedule and he was like, we take it. Oh, we take that one. We take it. We take it. Right? But then when you got to, how about the Jets in Kansas City? He was like, oh, we take it.
Yep.
And then you were like, the Jets in Kansas City, we take it. Now, to come to his defense a little bit, right? What if it's the Justin Fields-led Kansas City Chiefs early in the season?
I still think the Jets would be an underdog in that game.
I do too, but I mean, like, well, and we all know that.
Well, with Justin Fields playing for them, if that happens, sure. But it's still Andy Reid versus Aaron Glenn.
And we all know that Aaron Glenn has difficulties coaching against Fields.
It's funny you bring that up because he referenced that as a reason why they signed Fields. So, yeah, we'd get to see it firsthand.
Well, we also, unfortunately, know he also has difficulties coaching Fields.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Right? I mean, now that would be my nightmare. An early season loss to Justin Fields. That would suck the air out of the locker room so bad, correct?
I think if they lose to Justin Fields at any point, yes. If they lose week 1 to the Chiefs and Fields played, yeah,
Justin Fields, the only way Justin Fields is starting a game is early in the season because Mahomes with the, late season ACL thing.
I mean, Mahomes could be hurt the week the Jets played them in week 12, though. We don't know.
Perhaps, yeah. But I think Fields is going to start the season. That's what I think.
He might. Again, I mean, Mahomes has said he's going to be back for week 1, but we'll see how his recovery goes.
Yeah, but like, dude, that is my nightmare for real. Oh, God, Glenn losing to Fields. Oof. All right. Also, I got the Testaverde signed jersey that I won. Right. I gave it to my father. He turned 76 this week. Shout out to him. Right.
That's awesome. I'm glad. I hope your dad enjoys it.
Well, he's a Testaverde Merino guy. He likes that's his guys. You know.
It's an interesting combination.
Well, yeah, he's also, dude. I was watching one of those old quarterback challenges they used to have, and Testaverde, Marino, Favre, man, the way they used to sling the ball around. Oh boy, incredible. Now, I wish Beast was home because I was going to ask you to put him on. I wanted to talk about the gift that I sent him because his emails are indecipherable.
Now, Dream, did I not warn you that if you were going to send Beast a very nice gift, which I want you to share with the community what you did for Beast, that there was a good chance he wouldn't either acknowledge it or have no idea what it is or just not appreciate it? Did I not warn you?
He did acknowledge it. Sort of. Well, shall I tell the community?
Yeah, let everyone know what you did for Beast.
I ordered him the bowling ball from the movie Kingpin that Bill Murray used, Ernie McCracken. Sweetness, right? And I sent it to him with his initials engraved in it, double B, all right? And I sent him gift cards to get finger holes engraved custom for his, finger size, correct? And the response I got from that was just confusing.
You are aware who Beastbreaker is, correct?
I just thought he would love it because I mean, if I'm putting myself in Beast's shoes, right? And I thought like I would love this gift. Like I'm a bowler, like I'm Beast. I'm a
No.
bowler.
What you did is an amazing gesture. I don't think you processed the idea of having to send something to Beast and him to understand where it's coming from, who is sending it to him. That was my big fear with you spending a hefty price for this unbelievable gift. I'm like, I don't know if you want to do this. You might not grasp what you're doing.
Well, yeah, and all right. Now,
you bought Beast a bowling ball before you got new glasses. Like that's a real gesture.
Custom made, bro. Because I saw on he was just doing like minutes ago, he's bowling. And I was like, this dude likes bowling. And not to mention, he's pretty good at it, right?
He is actually way better than I think most people would think.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, man, if he gets a ball, if he gets sweetness from Kingpin, right, and he brings that to the bowling alley, he's going to be turning heads, like, well, more than usual, right?
Right.
And what he said to me was just incredible. The email I got from him, can I tell the community what the email said?
Please
and
tell everyone what Beast said to you after you sent this incredible gift.
I thought it was going to be a jersey, but this is fine. He's like, And he probably spent those gift cards on Chick-fil-A, as he would say.
Probably did, Dream. I can't lie to you. He probably did.
And he brought up Leany for some reason in the correspondence.
Well, he had Leany on his mind because Leany knocked him out of the tournament.
Leany derangement syndrome.
Right.
So
you might be onto something.
What? Yeah. I mean, anyways, I don't know. I tried. I thought he was going to be like, hey, when he sent that bizarre email, I was like, all right, so this is just some Beast nonsense. There's going to be a follow-up, correct? No follow-up. No, nothing. Nothing.
No.
Whatever.
Again, I'd love to tell you I'm surprised, but I'm not. I did warn you.
I would have really loved to see him at the bowling alley with that ball. That was my dream. My dream. Also, Monday morning, I'm going up against Gorman. I mean, the logistics of me being able to call Monday morning is, I can't guarantee that.
Why don't you send me a video this weekend? Just take it on your phone, email it to me. Just make your quick pitch, 60 seconds, why people should vote for you. I'll make sure we play it before the polls open.
All right. I'll see what I can do. I mean, but also, I'm locked back in. I know the big fella asked me about my weight loss. I'm locked back in. I've recently lost 5.5 pounds, right? We've got past the plateau, right? Because I know big fella's like, oh, the plateau sucks, right? When you get there, right? And I also got a exercise bike this week. It's already paying dividends.
You look great, Dream. Honestly, I'm excited to see how much weight you're going to end up losing here.
Well, I need help with the calorie burn, right? Because when I get home after work, have the dinner, you type in your dinner calories, correct? And then you hop on the bike, and then you ride till those calories come off, while watching the Jake Asman show, correct?
That's right. And there's nothing better.
And well, I mean, like I tried to start a weight loss thing as a community, but you know what? We're doing it all together, whether you all realize it or not. You're all part of this. Huh?
Dream, this might have been your finest call. I want you to know that even though Beast maybe didn't appreciate your gesture, I hope you get a chance to read back some of the comments during this call, because you're getting a lot of praise, and rightfully so, because that's an amazing gesture for what you tried to do there with Beast.
Maybe he'll actually take the baton and finish the gift, right? I mean, like, is he that just absent-minded? Like, can he not? It's probably like he probably looked at it, put it down, and then like nothing computed in his head about like what I mean, I like the guy, I'm trying to especially after he got knocked out of the tournament. I was like, oh, you know what'll cheer Beast up? I'm going to do something nice. And, actually, you know what? He did kind of say thank you. He said, that's fine. So, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, the Dream. You're the man, Dream. Have a great weekend.
Love you guys.
Nah, Beast is not on the line. You would just think he'd call in and say, thank you, Dream. But nope. The guy who's always on the line has disappeared. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Here's what I want to do, right? Because I want to help Dream in his campaign for Asmaniac Madness. Because I think the guy is spectacular. Great guy. We all know he's going up against Gorman. And that is a buzzsaw. Charles Gorman is Charles Gorman. But I will give you a little best of the Dream, because I need some time to count all the raffle names. And then we'll spin the wheel, and we'll give someone a Joe Klecko helmet. You have till the end of this video if you want to enter the raffle. We're going to play this, and then someone's going to get a signed Joe Klecko helmet. Hit it. The Dream is up next. I don't recognize the Dream here.
This is Andrew C. Yeah.
Oh, what's up, Andrew? Okay. Now, the Dream, have you had any alcoholic beverages this morning?
Absolutely.
I can tell.
Yeah. I drink. I have a dog, a pit bull. He's part of the team, too. I'm an Asmaniac. Yeah.
Welcome to the tournament next March. For the second time, the Dream is next. Hello, the Dream.
Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson are making the team.
They are. I'm pretty confident in that.
Like I told you, I was on the hey, my homie right here.
Do you like drinking or Aaron Glenmore?
Drinking.
Do you think your liver hates you?
Yeah, my lungs too. Huh?
That, folks, is an all-timer. Real quick, the Dream is called back. I like how your glasses are crooked there, Dream.
Well, I mean, it's broken on this side. Who's this guy?
Mama face, the dog face, the banana patch.
You the dream too?
Yeah, dream too. I'm trying to find the other piece of my glasses and broke off.
Huh?
Huh?
Where's your pimple? Huh?
There you go. My dog.
All right, this guy's pretty good.
I'm finding him somewhere. He is on the ground. He's running on the dog bone.
How do you
well,
how do you have a pair of glasses just like me, bro?
Multiverse. The multiverse.
Multiverse. Who do you think is going?
Guys, back off the booze, though, pal.
What do you think is Zach? What do you think Zach Wilson's up to? Did you see that Zach Wilson throw when he dropped it right at his feet?
It's like, dream.
That was me yesterday.
I had a dream.
Oh no, I'm worried about Dream 2.
Is this guy all right? I don't know.
I gotta lay off this sauce. Need new glasses. Can't see, goddammit. I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
That's not good.
I shouldn't have had that last drink. I have to find my cigarette. I might burn the house down.
When I was driving my truck the other day, I was singing the Purple Mike theme song. That shit was catchy.
I can't get up.
Dude, you're way worse than me.
Ladies and gentlemen, this show it's not like anything I've ever experienced. The end. You're way worse than me. Gets me every time. Dream, you're the man. You are the man. All right, I'm ready for the raffle. Ladies and gentlemen, let me shout out Papa Jet. He's the last person to enter before we close off entries. Well done by Papa Jet. Uh-oh. StreamYard froze. Do I have access to my videos? Oh, this is going to be a problem. Papa, you're in for one. Thank you. Let's see if I could scroll. Nope. I hate this program, but it's literally the only one that makes sense for what we do, unfortunately. I need 30 seconds. Let me see how quick I could do a reset.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Hopefully this is working. I have access again. I am ready for the Wheel of Champions. We have a Joe Klecko signed jersey to raffle away. And since Beast is nowhere to be found, I will send us to the Wheel of Champions.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Hit the music. It is time to raffle away a signed Joe Klecko helmet. Good luck to everyone. You're all in the weekly raffle tomorrow. But right now, we need a winner. If you win, you have to email me your name and address to get your prize. Ladies and gentlemen, good luck. But only one can win. And the winner is... Big Man Victim is your winner. Congrats to the Big Man Victim. Hit the jet chant for the big man himself. Big man, make sure you send me a email, asmanjake@gmail.com, and I will make sure we get your prize ordered for you over the weekend. Right now, it is time to set the stage for Asmaniac Madness. We need to declare a winner in the battle between the defending champion, Mr. Bonesy, and the upcoming rising star in this community, our guy, Lou B. But did you have any doubt? The champ is moving on. Bonesy to the Sweet 16. Good effort by Lou. 66-34, the final score. 388 total votes were cast. So congrats to Bonesy. Lou, great effort by you. You definitely are not going to be an 11 seed a year from now if you keep calling the way you have. Here's your look at the bracket. It will be Mr. Bonesy taking on the winner of tomorrow's Barbarossa and Black Gypsy showdown. I'm going live around 12:15 when I get off the radio. So we'll give you a Saturday show for the 2-7 matchup there. All right. I waited to the end of the show to play this. We talked about the just unfortunate news, tragic news about Tommy OG unexpectedly passing away. I talked more about this on the first show. His family reached out to me late last night. We're working on putting together a potential GoFundMe. I'm waiting to hear back from Tommy's stepdad, who reached out to me. We already have the Tommy OG emoji that is set up. And what I want to do now is play a tribute video that Gator was able to put together between shows today to pay homage to one of our great callers, someone that this community knew well. I've met Tommy a bunch. Great dude. And obviously we're thinking about him, thinking about his family during this. But a little homage to Tommy, RIP, of course, to him. And I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. We're going to, try and pay tribute to Tommy here. And he'd want everyone to go out there and drink up, have fun, and enjoy life, because that's what he was all about. So, Tommy, this is for you. Again, thanks to everyone who watched. Go Jets, and we'll talk to you tomorrow on the radio from 9 to noon, and then around 12:15 on YouTube.
I was the only one there rocking this jersey. My number. Oh, I don't have it on right now.
Give me an oh yeah, Tommy.
Oh yeah, baby.
That's Jets patience. I guess you could say that to the fullest, because we have patience. I've had patience since '85. This is our year. All you guys, yo, Bobby, keep doing your show. Mr. Bonesy, man, love you. Jake, you are the man.
Tommy, enjoy the White House.
Thank you. Can't wait to be there, baby. We going to the Super Bowl. I'm going to be at the parade. I'll be at the White House. Let's go. My dad will pay for 5 or 10 of us Asmaniacs. Keep doing you, Jake. I love you, brother.
Tommy, appreciate it, man. What a call.
I don't think they're losing many games this year, the bottom line. I don't know what the topic was, but I'm out here like in the park with looking at ducks and squirrels and all that shit. Hey, amigo, you think the Jets are going to lose any games this year? J-E-T-S, Jets, baby. I'm in Harrison, New Jersey right now, stopping at my bank. But Jay, keep doing you, brother. J-E-T-S. I can't wait to see you later, baby.
Oh, wow.
Here we go, baby.
J-E-T-S, Jets, let's go, baby.
Like, you guys are the best at what you do. I can't wait to see you later, baby.
Tommy, thank you very much. What a way to end it.